Chapter 2141. Lu Ming had defied the heavens and emerged as the champion of the Battle of 10 Earths. He stood at the peak of all the geniuses. Without a doubt, Lu Ming was the most dazzling in this Battle of 10 Earths. No one could compare to him. He had defeated Yuan Xian, Tian Ming, and even the geniuses of the heaven domain. This was destined to be recorded in the annals of history. Previously, everyone thought that Lu Ming had a boundless future and that his future achievements were unimaginable. They thought that he would become a peak expert. Some powerful forces even planned to befriend Lu Ming and build a good relationship with Lu Ming. But now, the Heavenly Emperor said that Lu Ming could not break through to the Martial Emperor realm and would be trapped in the Quasi-Emperor realm for the rest of his life. No one doubted the Heavenly Emperor's words. It could be said that Lu Ming's fate was sealed. What a pity. A rare genius. What a pity. Some people from the major forces sighed. They had planned to befriend Lu Ming and build a good relationship with Lu Ming. But now, they gave up on that idea. If he could not break through to the Martial Emperor realm, no matter how strong he would not be taken seriously by these major forces. Below the Martial Emperor realm, no matter how strong he was, how strong could he be? Any true emperor would be able to crush him. Ha ha ha, the heavens have eyes, the heavens have eyes. The Heng clan, He clan, Daluo Heaven sect, Ancient Moon Sacred Grounds Golden Crow clan, Wan clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, and other forces laughed crazily in their hearts. They were too excited. It was simply a blessing from the heavens. Previously, the abilities that Lu Ming displayed made them tremble with fear. They were scared to death. They were afraid that Lu Ming would rise and find them to settle the score. But now, Lu Ming could not break through to the Martial Emperor realm and would be trapped in the Quasi-Emperor realm for the rest of his life. To them, he was no threat at all. No matter how strong a Quasi-Emperor was, what could he do? Peerless useless body, haha. The great emperor of the He clan sneered. He had been beaten up by Lu Ming's heavenly emperor body and had always held a grudge. For those who had a grudge against Lu Ming, there was no better news than this. On the other hand, those who were close to Lu Ming found it hard to remain calm. One by one, they sighed. The heavens are unfair. An elder from Phoenix Palace sighed. Such an outstanding talent was unprecedented in the primordial realm's history. Yet, it was difficult for him to break through to Martial Emperor. This was truly a pity. Emperor Wuxia and Uncle Kong couldn't believe their eyes. Your Majesty, has no one in history ever broken the shackles and stepped into the Martial Emperor realm? Uncle Kong asked. No, never. Those who wanted to break through all died. As for the others, they were stuck at Quasi-Emperor for the rest of their lives. The Celestial the Arch shook his head. He felt that it was a pity. Uncle Kong's body trembled, as if he had aged many years in an instant. Ha ha ha, good, good. He's just a piece of trash. Finally, I don't have to worry about him anymore. He's just a piece of trash. To think that I even treated him as a peerless genius. Many people from the Heng family, He family, Golden Crow clan, and other forces laughed loudly, their faces full of smiles. Of course, they didn't dare to say it out loud. They only thought it in their hearts. Trash, he's only strong now. It won't be long before I surpass him in all aspects. The son of primal chaos, Yuan Xian, laughed coldly. At this moment, he was filled with confidence. Lu Ming couldn't break through to Martial Emperor, so he was no longer qualified to be his opponent. I still wanted to defeat you with my own hands in the future. I actually lost to a piece of trash. Tian Ming laughed coldly in his heart and shook his head slightly. What a pity. He was originally a very good opponent. The purple-haired youth among the celestial realm's geniuses sighed. No, my master will definitely break through. I don't believe that Lu Ming can break the shackles. Xiang and the others still found it hard to believe. No, I will definitely break through. I will definitely step into Martial Emperor. Even the heavens won't be able to stop me. Lu Ming's eyes were bloodshot as he clenched his fists tightly. His voice was filled with determination. What a joke. The Celestial Emperor already said it, but he still doesn't believe it. Wishful thinking. A middle-aged man from the Wan family couldn't help but mock. Immediately, he attracted angry gazes and immediately shut up. You want to break through by force? The Celestial Emperor looked at Lu Ming. Yes, I believe in myself. I will definitely break the shackles. The path is created by people. Even if the ancients didn't do it, it doesn't mean that I can't. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with determination. Since ancient times, no one had mastered two supreme laws at the same time. Didn't he achieve it? Breaking through to Martial Emperor by force will risk death. Are you prepared? The Celestial Emperor asked. A trace of admiration flashed in his eyes. He also sighed in his heart. Lu Ming's talent, Lu Ming's willpower, and Lu Ming's firm martial heart were all admirable. If Lu Ming didn't have a crippled body, his future would be unimaginable. It was not impossible for him to break through to Martial Emperor. I will definitely succeed. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with determination. Well, in that case, I will give you 10 days to prepare. After 10 days, I will lend you a hand and help you break through to Martial Emperor. The Celestial Emperor's voice spread in all directions. What? The Celestial Emperor was going to personally help Lu Ming break through to Martial Emperor. This was definitely a great opportunity. Damn it! The Hung clan, He clan, Ancient Moon Holy Ground, Golden Crow clan, Wan clan, and other forces were shocked. They were extremely unwilling and envious. The Celestial Emperor was going to help. Originally, they were overjoyed when they heard that Lu Ming could not break through to Martial Emperor. Now, they were afraid that Lu Ming would succeed with the help of the Celestial Emperor. They were all secretly praying that Lu Ming would not succeed. As for Lu Xiang and the others, they were overjoyed. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. Lu Ming solemnly bowed to the Celestial Emperor to express his gratitude. He was sincere. He really didn't expect the Celestial Emperor to help. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. Uncle Kong and Emperor Wuxia also bowed respectfully. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. Then, Lu Xiang, Ouyang Moli, Autumn Moon, Huang Ling, and the others all bowed. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. Then, many people in Yuan Mountain also bowed to express their gratitude to the Celestial Emperor. For example, the ancient sacred tribe's divine emperor and some other forces. All of them knew that when the alien tribes wreaked havoc on Wanyuan Mountain, it was Lu Ming who risked his life and the few great emperors to seal the void passageway used by the alien tribes. They were grateful to Lu Ming. Thank you for your help, Celestial Emperor. In the end, the ancient great emperor of the land of infinite demons, and even some experts of the divine fate land and other regions expressed their gratitude to the Celestial Emperor. Most of them were not so narrow-minded and had no enmity with Lu Ming. Lu Ming's talent was too high. It would be a pity if he fell silent. They all cherished talents, so they expressed their gratitude to the Celestial Emperor. You're welcome. I also cherish talents. I won't look on helplessly as an unparalleled genius slumbers. During these 10 days, I'll set up the array at this moment to help Lu Ming break through. However. Chapter 2142. The Sky Emperor spoke very bluntly and directly. The foreign tribes were invading and the heavenly realm was at war. Nurturing peerless geniuses and allowing them to grow up would mean a lot to the heavenly realm and the primordial realm. Therefore, every single resource was precious and had to be used where it was needed most. If Lu Ming could not break through to the martial emperor realm, then Lu Ming would lose his value. No matter how strong a boundary emperor was, he would be useless in the war against the foreign tribes. The heavenly realm's experts would not waste resources on a piece of trash. Therefore, if Lu Ming could not become an emperor, he could only stay in the primordial realm and could not go to the heavenly realm. I understand. Lu Ming nodded. Good, get ready. Adjust your condition to the peak. The heavenly emperor said. Lu Ming nodded and went to the side. He sat down cross-legged and closed his eyes to rest. He needed to adjust his condition, his essence, energy, and spirit to their peak. The heavenly emperor began to carve a formation on the top of Heaven's Wool Mountain. The top of Heaven's Wool Mountain shone with dazzling rays of light. Everyone was waiting here. In fact, the number of people had even increased. Lu Ming could be said to be a peerless genius in the history of Yuanlu. Everyone wanted to see if Lu Ming could become an emperor. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, Lu Ming opened his eyes and took a step forward, stepping onto the top of Heaven's Wool Mountain. Lu Ming, let's begin. The heavenly emperor said. During this period, everyone knew that the heavenly emperor was called Kong Yin and was known as Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin. Lu Ming nodded and sat cross-legged on top of Heaven's Wool Mountain. You must succeed. Xiang Xiang, Ouyang Moli and the others were very nervous and clenched their fists. The Hun clan, He clan, Golden Crow clan, Wan clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda and other forces were also very nervous. However, in their hearts, they hoped that Lu Ming would not succeed. Boom! Lu Ming's body emitted a powerful aura. He was about to break through. The scene was completely silent. Not a single sound could be heard. With the heavenly emperor in charge, even those forces that had a grudge against Lu Ming, such as the Mu family, did not dare to make the slightest move and disturb Lu Ming's breakthrough. Otherwise, if he angered the celestial emperor, the entire Mu clan would be buried with him. As for the Hun clan and He clan, they didn't dare to make any moves. At this time, Lu Ming began to control the 5 types of laws, forming the world heart in his saint heart. However, at this moment, the 5 types of laws erupted, unable to coexist. They clashed against each other, and a terrifying tearing force burst forth. Lu Ming's body shook violently and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Just like the previous time, it was difficult for him to succeed. Lu Ming, focus your mind and focus on evolving. I will protect your body and saint heart. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin said. He stretched out his hand and pressed down. The entire peak of Heaven's Mandate Mountain was filled with tens of thousands of rays of light. Streaks of divine light appeared and enveloped Lu Ming's body, then seeped into his body and covered his saint heart. This was the power of the array protecting Lu Ming's body and saint heart. Evolve! Lu Ming roared. He no longer cared about his body and saint heart. He controlled the 5 types of laws with all his strength, wanting to evolve the world heart in his saint heart. However, the 5 types of laws were too many, and it was difficult to achieve a balance. The power clashed and stirred up each other, and a terrifying force rushed out. Lu Ming's saint heart and body trembled violently as they were bombarded by the destructive force. If it wasn't for Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin protecting his saint heart and body, Lu Ming would have been seriously injured. His saint heart might even explode, and his body would be torn apart. I must succeed! Lu Ming roared. He ignored everything and went all out. Boom! Boom! A series of explosions came from Lu Ming's body as if there was an expert fighting inside Lu Ming's body. His body burst out with rays of light like a sieve, and it was extremely shocking. Poochie. Following that, Lu Ming coughed out large mouthfuls of blood, and his face turned pale. One could see that cracks were beginning to appear on his body. Not good. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin's face changed. Even with his help, Lu Ming was still injured. It wasn't that he didn't have enough power, but when Lu Ming was breaking through, the power of laws surged and directly burst out from Lu Ming's body. In the end, it might attract the power of the heavenly Tao, causing Lu Ming to self-destruct. Master. Lu Ming. At this moment, Xiang Xiang, Autumn Moon, Huang Ling, and the others were all extremely nervous. Breakthrough. Lu Ming roared and continued to break through. He had to break through. His martial path couldn't be severed just like that. Kacha. Puchi. Cracks even appeared on Lu Ming's Saint Heart, and there were even more cracks on Lu Ming's body. Blood kept seeping out, as if he would be torn apart at any time. Lu Ming, stop. You can't continue. Otherwise, you will die. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin shouted. Breakthrough. Lu Ming roared. His eyes were extremely persistent. He wanted to continue breaking through. Many people were moved, and many people sighed. They could understand Lu Ming's feelings. As a peerless genius, if he could only be trapped in the quasi-emperor realm for the rest of his life and couldn't break through, how sad would that be? Thinking about it from another perspective, many people would also break through at all costs. Puchi. Puchi. There were even more cracks on Lu Ming's body. Many cracks directly spurted out blood. Master. Xiang Xiang said softly, tears welling up in her eyes. Young master. It was the same for Autumn Moon. Her heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. Everyone who was on good terms with Lu Ming revealed a look of pity. As for the Golden Crow clan, Wan clan, and other forces, they were ecstatic. They were screaming in their hearts that Lu Ming must not succeed. Puchi. At this moment, a crack appeared between Lu Ming's eyebrows. It was as if his entire head was going to split open. This was extremely dangerous. If one was not careful, his body would explode, and his soul would scatter. Stop. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin shouted. He pressed down with one hand, and a powerful and terrifying force entered Lu Ming's body, controlling Lu Ming. He knew that if he did not intervene, Lu Ming would only have a dead end. With the intervention of a heavenly emperor, Lu Ming could not control the laws. The laws dissipated, and he vomited blood. His face was pale. Failed. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. Failed again. And it was with the help of Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin, but he still failed and did not break through. Could it be that he really had a peerless trash body, and could not become an emperor? He was extremely unwilling. Along the way, he had experienced countless dangers and storms. He had broken through all the barriers, and today, he had stepped onto the peak of the younger generation in the primordial realm. In the end, he was blocked by the Emperor realm. It was difficult to break through. If he could not become an emperor, everything would be in vain. If there was a great war in the future, he would be powerless and unable to protect his family. No. Lu Ming roared in his heart. He was unwilling. He would not give up. He would break the shackles and create a miracle. Lu Ming, heal your injuries first. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin said, and a warm energy entered Lu Ming's body. Thanks to the flowing light, his injuries were rapidly recovering. Chapter 2143. Lu Ming continued to refine the energy, allowing it to circulate throughout his body and seep into his Saint Heart. The cracks on his Saint Heart were disappearing and finally, it was completely healed. His physical body had also completely recovered from his injuries. Lu Ming understood that this was all thanks to the Heavenly Emperor's help. That energy contained endless vitality, allowing him to recover so quickly. Otherwise, cracks would appear on his Saint Heart and his injuries would be extremely serious. It would take a long time for him to slowly recover. Thank you for your help, Heavenly Emperor. Lu Ming stood up and thanked Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin solemnly. Heavenly Emperor Realm, what kind of person was he? Yet, he was able to help him break through. Whether or not he succeeded, Lu Ming was very grateful. Sigh, what a pity. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin sighed. It was a pity that a person like Lu Ming could not become an emperor. Lu Ming, don't force yourself to break through in the future. This time, I can save you. Next time, no one will be able to save you. Take care of yourself. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin said, then turned around and returned to the war chariot. Master, Xiang believes that you will definitely break through in the future and create a miracle. Xiang walked over and looked at Lu Ming with tears in her eyes. I also believe in Master. Ouyang Moli also walked over. Young Master. Xiao Moon also walked over, but did not know what to say. Then, Huang Ling, Long Chen, Luo Tianyi, Luo Xiang and the rest also walked over. Looking at these disciples and friends, Lu Ming's heart warmed. He smiled and said, don't worry, I won't take risks easily. At this moment, the Hung family, He family and other forces that had a grudge against Lu Ming were ecstatic. They laughed in their hearts and let out a long breath. Mu Yang was actually killed by a cripple. Humph, my Mu family will definitely take revenge. The Mu family's experts sneered in their hearts, their eyes flashing with killing intent. Alright, it's getting late. The top 320 geniuses, follow me to the heavenly realm. At this moment, Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin's voice sounded. Swoosh! Swoosh! One by one, the young geniuses flew up to the front of the war chariot. No, Xiang doesn't want to go to the heaven realm. Xiang wants to stay and accompany Master. Lu Xiang shook her head. Young Master, I'm not going either. Autumn Moon also spoke. I'm not going either. I want to accompany Big Brother Lu Ming. Bubbles hung around Lu Ming's neck, swaying from side to side. Previously, Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin had said that if Lu Ming couldn't become an emperor, he wouldn't be able to head to the heavenly world. The heaven realm would not waste resources on a person who was destined not to become an emperor. What nonsense are you talking about? Let's all go to the heaven realm to cultivate. Only in the heaven realm can you improve faster. Lu Ming smiled and looked at Autumn Moon and the others. If the heaven realm wanted to nurture this batch of young geniuses, they would definitely take out a large amount of resources. Furthermore, with the guidance of the Celestial Emperor, their improvement speed would definitely be very fast. If they stayed in the primordial realm and relied on themselves to explore, their cultivation speed would be much slower. With the invasion of the foreign tribes, no one knew when the war would break out. Only by going to the heaven realm to cultivate was the right path. Lu Ming wouldn't let them stay. No. No. Autumn Moon, Bubbles, Lu Xiang, and the others shook their heads. At this moment, Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin looked at Bubbles and said, Little guy, you're a spacetime spirit mouse. Staying in the primordial realm will only bury your talent. Follow me to the heaven realm. There will be a specialized Heavenly Emperor to guide you. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin valued Bubbles a lot. The top 10 battle beasts were no small matter. Each of them had unparalleled talent. If they were to fully mature, they would be peak experts. The top 10 battle beasts of the ancient era were all terrifying existences with unparalleled combat power and unparalleled divine might. No. Bubbles shook his head like a rattle drum. Many people were so envious that their eyes turned red. With such good conditions, Bubbles still didn't want to go. It was simply infuriating. All of you, go to the heaven realm to cultivate together. At this moment, Lu Ming's face sank. His sharp gaze swept across Bubbles, Lu Xiang, and the others. I'm not crippled. There's no need for you to accompany me. Don't worry, I will definitely become an emperor in the future. When that time comes, I will go to the heaven realm to find you. Master, Lu Xiang whispered. Let's go. Lu Ming said sternly. Yes. In the end, Lu Xiang, Ouyang Moli, and the others nodded. Bubbles pouted unwillingly, looking reluctant to part. Then, he lay weakly on Lu Xiang's shoulder and came to the front of the war chariot. Lu Ming, take care. Huang Ling, Huang Li, and the others also came to the front of the war chariot. Lu Ming, when you return to the divine wilderness and see Nianlin, help me pass a message. When my cultivation is successful, I will definitely look for her. Long Chen said to Lu Ming. He also wanted to stay and return to the divine wilderness to reunite with Xie Nianlin. But he knew that the war was not far away. Without cultivation, even if they reunited temporarily, they would not be able to protect anything in the future. He wanted to go to the heaven realm to cultivate. This opportunity could not be missed. Don't worry, I will return to the divine wilderness soon. When the time comes, I will pass the message for you. Take care. Lu Ming patted Long Chen's shoulder and smiled. Everyone bid farewell to Lu Ming one by one. Only Autumn Moon did not move. Autumn Moon, go. Lu Ming looked at Autumn Moon. No, I won't go. I want to stay by young master's side. Autumn Moon shook her head. Before Lu Ming could speak, Autumn Moon said again, even if young master drives me away, I won't leave. I want to stay by young master's side. I want to return to the divine wilderness to see master and madam. Autumn Moon looked at Lu Ming with a determined face. All right. In the end, Lu Ming sighed and let Autumn Moon stay. Lu Ming, you have to take care. I'm going to the heaven realm too. At this moment, a figure came to Lu Ming's side. It was Emperor Wuxiang. Dean, Lu Ming was puzzled. Could it be that Emperor Wuxiang was going to the heaven realm to participate in the war? Huntian and Heavenly Fire have entered the heaven realm. I don't know if they are dead or alive. I'm worried. Emperor Wuxiang explained. Lu Ming understood that Emperor Wuxiang was going to look for Huntian and Heavenly Fire Emperor. Dean, take care. Lu Ming cupped his fists. Lu Ming, I hope that the next time I see you, you will have become an emperor. Emperor Wuxiang smiled and then left. Lu Ming, I hope you can become an emperor. When the 20 years are up, I will challenge you. If you can't become an emperor, everything will be meaningless. In the end, Death Blade came to Lu Ming's side and left. Let's go. Heavenly Emperor Kong Yin said. 9 true dragons roared and shook the sky. Rumble. The 9 dragons pulled the chariot toward the depths of the sky. It rushed into the huge door and disappeared. The other sky prides of the Yuan realm also entered the door and disappeared. Before stepping into the door, Yuan Xian glanced at Lu Ming coldly and then turned to leave. In the crowd, Lu Ming saw Luo Zhangqiong's figure. He was also one of the 320 people. He also glanced at Lu Ming coldly. Lu Ming, I hope you can survive. The next time I see you, I will kill you. Luo Zhangqiong sneered and stepped into the door. Master, take care, Lu Ming, take care. At the door, the voices of Xiang, Bubbles, Huang Ling, and the others could be heard. When the voices came, they were already gone. Chapter 2144. In the depths of the sky, the gate disappeared. The celestial world's emissaries and more than 300 geniuses all entered the celestial world. Many people looked back at Lu Ming. Many sighed, many sneered, and some even revealed killing intent. Lu Ming, you must pay with your life for killing Mu Yang of the Mu clan. An expert from the Mu clan was the first to attack. He stepped forward and charged at Lu Ming with killing intent. This was a great emperor with a goatee and a ferocious look in his eyes. Mu Yan was a peerless talent. He could have gone to the celestial world to obtain great opportunities and even become a celestial emperor in the future. If he became a celestial emperor, he would have been able to lead the Mu clan to glory. Everyone in the Mu clan had high hopes for him. But now, he was killed by Lu Ming. They wouldn't let Lu Ming go. What are you doing? Uncle Kong stepped forward and arrived in front of Lu Ming. His powerful aura erupted and blocked the great emperor from the Mu clan. You think you can stop the Mu clan by yourself? Another cold laughter rang out as a figure appeared beside Uncle Kong. His aura permeated the air, enveloping Uncle Kong. It was another great emperor. The Mu clan was a very powerful force in the Divine Fate land. They had more than one great emperor. On the other side, the great emperors wanted to help, but they were stopped by the great emperors of the Han clan, He clan, and Tianluo clan. Lu Ming must die today. The great emperor from the Mu clan with a goatee said coldly and slowly approached Uncle Kong. Lu Ming's eyes flashed coldly. He had the celestial emperor's body. At most, he could control it and cause a ruckus to escape with Uncle Kong. Mu clan, you've gone too far. At this moment, a white-haired elder stepped forward and released a terrifying aura. The two great emperors from the Mu clan were shocked. This was an expert from one of the overlords of Destiny City. His cultivation was unfathomable. The Battle of the 10 Earths just ended, and you want to touch the champion of the Battle of the 10 Earths in Destiny City? Do you want to die? Said someone else, glaring at the two great emperors from the Mu clan. They were from another powerful group in Tianming City. Many powerful great emperors glared at the two great emperors from the Mu clan. Although Lu Ming couldn't become a monarch, he was still the champion of the 10 Lands battle. His tenacious character was admirable. At this moment, how could they let the Mu clan touch Lu Ming? The two Mu clan's great monarchs gritted their teeth and retreated helplessly. Take the two of them and leave Destiny City. The white-haired old man transmitted his voice to Uncle Kong. Uncle Kong nodded and said to Lu Ming, Hall Master, let's go. Following this, he waved his hand and a wave of energy brought Lu Ming and Autumn Moon away, disappearing without a trace. After some time, they appeared at the peak of a mountain. This place is already far away from the Divine Fate land. You all enter my small world first, I will bring you all back to Yuan Mountain. Kong Bo said. Uncle Kong, I don't want to go back for the time being. I want to look around. Lu Ming suddenly spoke. Look around? Uncle Kong was stunned at first, then a complicated look appeared in his eyes. He understood how Lu Ming felt. Not being able to become a monarch was a huge blow to anyone, not to mention a peerless genius like Lu Ming. Lu Ming needed time to calm down and adjust himself. Hall Master, this is the Divine Fate land. I'm afraid the Mu clan will do something to you. Uncle Kong was a little worried. Uncle Kong, don't worry. I won't use my real identity. I will use the Divine Aura technique to hide my identity. The Divine Fate land is so big, the Mu clan won't be able to find me. Lu Ming said. I want to follow you, young master. Autumn Moon said. She also cultivated the Divine Aura technique. In the end, Uncle Kong nodded and allowed Lu Ming to look around. Alright, I'll wait for you at the Great Pill Development Hall. Uncle Kong nodded and then tore through space and left. After Uncle Kong left, Lu Ming and Autumn Moon both used the Divine Aura technique to change their appearances. After changing their clothes, the two of them walked together between the mountains and the earth. Indeed, not being able to become a monarch was a huge blow to Lu Ming. He had to adjust himself. They walked and stopped, doing whatever they wanted. Sometimes, Lu Ming and Autumn Moon would discuss cultivation. Autumn Moon had already become a monarch and could comprehend many types of laws. Lu Ming had already comprehended 5 types of laws to the first level of perfection. In this aspect, he could be said to be very experienced. Autumn Moon also received a lot of inspiration. Lu Ming would sometimes meditate in one place for a few days. Autumn Moon would accompany Lu Ming to comprehend the laws. Time flew. In the blink of an eye, 2 months had passed. On a mountain peak, Lu Ming had been meditating for half a month. What should I do in the future? Sitting on the mountain peak and watching the clouds, Lu Ming's mood had completely adjusted. Now, he was thinking about what to do in the future. Since I can't become a monarch, I'll continue to comprehend the laws. The more laws I comprehend, the stronger my combat strength will be. As long as my combat strength becomes stronger, so what if I can't become a monarch? Lu Ming's eyes gradually lit up. Since he couldn't become a monarch, he would continue to comprehend new laws. Every time he integrated a new type of law, his combat strength would skyrocket. Now, he only had 5 types of laws. What about 6, 7, 8, or even more? What level would his combat strength reach? Moreover, since he could comprehend 2 types of supreme laws, could he comprehend 3 or 4 types? If he could control all 10 types of supreme laws, what level could he reach? His path was not cut off. His strength could still continue to improve. Then I'll comprehend new laws. Lu Ming stood up, his face showing a confident expression again. Young master. Xiao Yu came to Lu Ming's side. Xiao Yu, let's go. Lu Ming held Xiao Yu's small hand and stepped into the air. Next, what law should I comprehend? Lu Ming pondered. A moment later, Lu Ming had already made a decision. Alchemy Dao Law. Next, Lu Ming planned to comprehend Alchemy Dao Law. Alchemy Dao Law, Array Dao Law, and Tools Dao Law were 3 types of King Dao Law evolved from the Dao of Inscription. Each had its own mysteries. Lu Ming had already mastered Array Dao Law. Lu Ming planned to master Alchemy Dao Law and Tools Dao Law in the future. In that way, the fusion of 3 types of laws would be even more mysterious. A few days later, they arrived at a large city. This large city was the holy land of alchemy in the divine Fate land. Everywhere was filled with medicinal fragrance. The factions in this large city were practically all focused on alchemy. Lu Ming and Xiao Yu temporarily stayed in this large city. In this large city, it was helpful for Lu Ming to comprehend Alchemy Dao Law. In just a few days, Lu Ming already cultivated Alchemy Dao Law to the rudimentary level. This made Lu Ming secretly amazed. He comprehended various laws at an astonishing speed. During this period of time, Xiao Yu was also comprehending other laws. But she encountered tremendous resistance. Cultivating it was very difficult. Lu Ming guessed, could it be related to his somewhat mutated sacred heart? Chapter 2145. The 2 of them were not in a hurry to return to Yuan Mountain. They continued to wander around, relaxing and cultivating at the same time. Aeon City, Mu Clan. In a hall, a group of people were discussing something. According to reliable sources, Lu Ming did not return to Yuan Mountain. The only one who returned was old Devil Dan Kong. A Mu Clan powerhouse said. But we sent people to look for Lu Ming everywhere, but they couldn't find him. That kid seemed to have evaporated into thin air. Another person said. It doesn't matter. We'll just wait for him. Lu Ming will return to Yuan Mountain sooner or later. We'll send people to Yuan Mountain and wait for him to return. That's right. Lu Ming must die. We must avenge Mu Yang. The Mu Clan powerhouses spoke one after another. Let me make a trip there myself. Finally, a middle-aged man with a goatee walked out. This was a great emperor. Back then at Destiny Mountain, he was the first to make trouble and wanted to kill Lu Ming. We're relieved to have you make a trip there. The others nodded. Immediately, the great emperor with the goatee led 2 Mu clan powerhouses and left Aeon City, heading towards Yuan Mountain. Lu Ming didn't know all of this. They were still comprehending as they walked. In the north of Yuan continent, the land of divine beasts. It was an extremely barren and hidden place. Here, the space was extremely unstable and the origin chi was thin. It was a famous place of death in the land of divine beasts. There were thousands of divine beasts in the land of divine beasts, but no divine beast would come close to this place. On this day, a black-clothed woman with peerless beauty and peerless elegance was holding the hand of a 3- or 4-year-old boy. The little boy had bright eyes and white teeth. He was very good-looking. "Mother, where are we going?" the little boy asked. The beautiful woman looked at the little boy with a complicated look in her eyes. Finally, she said softly, "Mother will take you to a better place and teach you cultivation." He, little sister, I haven't seen you for many years. I didn't expect you to have a child. A delicate laugh sounded, and a figure stepped on the air and came over. It was also a woman with peerless beauty. Her appearance was exactly the same as the previous woman in black, but her temperament was slightly different. The woman behind him was dressed in a white dress. Her entire body was shrouded in holy light. She looked very holy. Xian Yinjuan. The black-clothed woman's eyes turned cold. That's right, the woman in black was Xian Yinqing, and the woman in white was Xian Yinjuan. Xian Yinjuan carefully looked at the little boy in Xian Yinqing's hand and revealed a look of surprise. He said, "This little baby looks 70 to 80% similar to Lu Ming. Could he be yours and Lu Ming's child? This is really beyond my expectations. From what I see, you've already awakened, yet you're still doing this kind of thing with Lu Ming. Moreover, you haven't killed Lu Ming yet. That's even stranger." Xian Yinjuan was extremely curious. "It's none of your business," Xian Yinqing said coldly. "No, I can see that the memories of your previous life and this life haven't merged. It should mean that the memories of this life don't want to merge with the memories of your previous life. No wonder, no wonder. However, if you continue like this, your cultivation will be completely surpassed by mine sooner or later." Xian Yinjuan seemed to have seen through something and laughed. Xian Yinqing's face revealed a complicated expression. Although she had awakened the memories of her previous life, the memories of this life were not willing to merge with the memories of her previous life. The two kinds of memories would appear alternately to control this body. Why do you have to do this? Only by merging the memories of our previous life and this life can we surpass our previous life and embark on the supreme path. If you continue like this, all of your efforts will eventually be in vain. In the end, Xian Yinjuan let out a long sigh. Her personality was indeed very different from before. In the past, when she saw Xian Yinqing, she would not speak to him with such an attitude. At this moment, Xian Yinqing's expression changed. Her eyes and expression also changed. Her eyes and expression were the same as Xian Yinqing's in the past. She touched the little boy's little head dotingly and said, "I won't merge. This life is this life, and the previous life is the previous life. Why should I awaken? Why should I merge? It seems that you can't let go of Lu Ming," Xian Yinjuan said. Xian Yinqing was silent and did not speak. "Mother, who is she? Why does she look like you?" the little boy asked and looked at Xian Yinjuan curiously. "I'm your aunt. Come to aunt. Aunt will take you to the heavenly realm and teach you the supreme cultivation method." Xian Yinjuan smiled. "I will take him there. You don't have to worry." With that, Xian Yinqing did not say anything else. She held the little boy's hand and walked toward the void turbulence. Xie Nianzhuan smiled and also walked toward the void turbulence. In the end, their figures disappeared. If others knew, they would be very surprised. The void turbulence here could lead to the heavenly realm? Lu Ming and Autumn Moon walked and stopped. When they arrived at Huanhai, half a year had passed since the end of the Ten Lands battle. In this half a year, the news of the Ten Lands battle had spread throughout the world. Countless people were shocked. Countless people knew the name Lu Ming. Of course, there were also countless people who sighed. A peerless genius could not become an emperor. It made people sigh. After Lu Ming and Autumn Moon arrived at Huanhai, they took the Cross-Sea warship and returned to Yuan Mountain. After returning to Yuan Mountain, they did not disguise themselves and returned to their original appearance. Lu Ming did not go to Celestial City, nor did he return to Ancient Moon Holy Land. The first place he wanted to go was the Ancient Sacred Tribe. He wanted to go to the Ancient Sacred Tribe to find Xie Nianzhuan and ask about Xie Nianqing's situation. He felt that Xie Nianzhuan must know what happened to Xie Nianqing. Unfortunately, when he arrived at the Ancient Sacred Tribe, he was told that Xie Nianzhuan had already left the Ancient Sacred Tribe a few months ago and his whereabouts were unknown. Lu Ming was helpless. He could only leave the Ancient Sacred Tribe and take the teleportation formation to return to Ancient Moon Holy Land. Emperor Wuxia had already left. Lu Ming no longer needed to go to Celestial City. Lu Ming planned to return to Ancient Moon Holy Land first before returning to Tsang State. It was time to settle the matters in Tsang State. With his current battle strength, he could kill an ordinary Void Emperor with a raise of his hand. After settling the matters in Tsang State, it was time for him to return to Divine Wilderness Continent. Counting it, he had left Divine Wilderness Continent for more than 10 years. It was time to go back and take a look. It's Lu Ming. Lu Ming is back. When Lu Ming walked out of the teleportation formation outside the Ancient Moon Holy Land, he was immediately recognized by others. The teleportation formation area was in an uproar. Lu Ming's name was famous all over the world. In the Battle of the Ten Lands, he trampled over the other geniuses and won the championship. His peerless talent made the people of Ancient Moon Holy Land feel very proud. Everyone, please make way. Lu Ming was speechless because the road was already blocked. A large number of people surrounded and watched. Lu Ming and Xiao Yu squeezed out of the crowd and flew towards Ancient Moon Holy Land. Humph, he's just a crippled body. If he can't become an emperor, what's the use of having strong battle strength at this stage? After Lu Ming left, someone sneered and mocked. Chapter 2146. That's right, he's just a boundary emperor. My Golden Crow clan can easily send out a high-level empty emperor to suppress him. A Golden Crow clan expert sneered. He must have done too many evil deeds and received his retribution. What a satisfying retribution. A giant wolf from Sky Wolf Pagoda said and even grinned. The others sighed. It was a pity that Lu Ming could not become an emperor. Soon, the news of Lu Ming's return to the Ancient Moon Sacred Ground spread throughout the Ancient Moon Sacred Ground. Lu Ming did not stop. Soon, he and Autumn Moon returned to the Great Pill Development Hall. Junior brother. Junior brother. Tian Chui and Xuaningxin had been cultivating in the Great Pill Development Hall. Their cultivation levels were not high and they did not go to the Divine Fate Land. When they saw Lu Ming return, they smiled. Junior brother, I believe that you will become an emperor in the future. Xuaningxin came over to comfort him. That's right. You will blind everyone. Tian Chui also came over and comforted him. Of course, I will definitely create a miracle. Lu Ming smiled. After this period of time, he had already adjusted his mood and said half-jokingly. He had not given up on the path to becoming an emperor. He would slowly search for it in the future. However, at this stage, he could continue to comprehend new laws and his strength could continue to increase. He was not in a hurry. Moreover, he had heard that there was a prerequisite to becoming an emperor. That was to cultivate all 9 laws to the complete third realm. Then, the 9 types of laws would be integrated, and the quantity would change into the quality of the great Tao. Only then would one be a great emperor. Therefore, he would not waste his time by comprehending more laws. In the future, if he really broke through to the martial emperor realm, his cultivation would increase by leaps and bounds. Come, let's drink. Tian Shui laughed and took out jars of wine. Everyone began to drink. Autumn Moon also accompanied Lu Ming and drank a jar. Her face flushed red as if she was a fairy who had descended to the mortal world. The few of them drank and chatted until the next day. Lu Ming wanted to rest for a while. However, at this time, Lu Ming received a message that someone had come to the Great Pill Development Furnace. Miss Mu, Brother Yi. When Lu Ming arrived outside the Great Derivation Pill Furnace, he saw a few youths. Mu Qingxue and Yi Dongfang were among them. In the ancient Moon Holy Land, other than Huang Ling and Long Chen, Lu Ming was the closest to Mu Qingxue and Yi Dongfang. Obviously, they had also heard the news of Lu Ming's return. Lu Ming, we just heard that you're back. Lu Ming, we all believe in you. One day, you'll definitely become a martial emperor. Mu Qingxue, Yi Dongfang, and the others also comforted him. Thank you. Lu Ming smiled and invited them in to take a seat. Lu Ming, the younger generation of the ancient Moon Sacred Ground has decided to invite you to a banquet in 3 days to congratulate you on becoming the champion of the 10 Lands tournament. In the end, Yi Dongfang spoke. Alright, I'll definitely go. Lu Ming nodded. After chatting for a while, Mu Qingxue, Yi Dongfang, and the others took their leave. Lu Ming rested for a while and then continued to comprehend the law of alchemy. During this time, he had already cultivated the law of alchemy to 60%, which was extremely fast. On this day, the Golden Crow clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, Wan clan, and Ziji sect all received invitations to the Feng clan for a meeting. When they arrived at the meeting hall of the Feng clan, they found that the people sitting at the top were not the Feng clan leader, but 2 strangers. The Wind clan's clan leader and the Wind clan's elders sat below and carefully accompanied him. Feng clan leader, why have you called us here? The Wan clan leader asked first. No hurry, let me introduce you. These 2 are from the ancient Sun Holy Land and the Daluo Heaven sect. The Feng clan leader pointed at the 2 and said. The Wan clan leader and the Golden Crow clan leader's faces changed slightly. The Daluo Heaven sect had a martial emperor in charge and was an emperor-level force. Their strength was far beyond theirs. They hurriedly saluted the 2 people from the Daluo Heaven sect. The 2 people from the Daluo Heaven sect nodded slightly. Everyone, I'll come straight to the point. This time, I've asked you to come together for only one purpose, that is, to kill Lu Ming. A middle-aged man from the Daluo Heaven sect said coldly. The hall suddenly became quiet. After a while, the Wan clan leader said, Brother Luo, to be honest, we also want to kill Lu Ming, but Lu Ming is protected by the old guy from the Great Development Elixir Palace. That old guy is a martial emperor. If we kill Lu Ming, I'm afraid that old guy will kill us directly. Yes, without the old guy from the Great Development Elixir Palace, we would have killed Lu Ming long ago. The Golden Crow clan leader followed. It doesn't matter. This time, Martial Emperor Tian Luo of the Daluo Heaven sect will take action. The old guy from the Great Development Elixir Palace will be dealt with by Martial Emperor Tian Luo. The middle-aged man from the Daluo Heaven sect said. Martial Emperor Tian Luo will take action? The leaders of the Wan clan, the Golden Crow clan, and the Sky Wolf Tower were all overjoyed. But then, they became worried because they thought that Lu Ming still had the body of the Celestial Emperor. Lu Ming still has the body of the Celestial Emperor. Although he was assassinated by the Death Kingdom in the Divine Fate Land, he didn't use the body of the Celestial Emperor. Some people speculate that there are many restrictions on him using the body of the Celestial Emperor. But we have to be careful. The Wan clan leader said. The others nodded. They had to be cautious because it was related to the survival of their forces. We have already considered this point. So, you need to send someone to assassinate Lu Ming and test whether he can control the body of the Celestial Emperor. Someone from the Daluo Heaven sect said. We'll test him. The Wan clan leader and the others changed their expressions. They had sent someone to test him. If Lu Ming could control the body of the Celestial Emperor, the person they sent would be dead. If Lu Ming was angry, all the forces would be in danger. Don't worry. We'll test him just in case. If Lu Ming can't control the body of the Celestial Emperor, we can kill him directly. If he can control the body of the Celestial Emperor, you'll lose a few experts at most. When it comes to doing big things, a little loss is necessary. And let me tell you, this time we're not the only ones who want to deal with Lu Ming. The Mu clan in the Divine Fate Land has also sent a great emperor to deal with him. So, even if Lu Ming can control the body of the Celestial Emperor, he will still die. But, if this matter is spread out, the Mu clan and the Daluo Heaven sect will lose face. So, we need you to send someone to assassinate him. Another person from the Daluo Heaven sect said with great confidence. The Mu clan in the Divine Fate Land has also sent an expert. The eyes of the Wan clan leader and the others flickered, and they finally made a decision. Well, we'll send someone to ambush Lu Ming. If we can kill him directly, it'll be the best. The leaders of the forces made a decision. Lu Ming was too big a threat to them. He must be eliminated. Even if Lu Ming could not become an emperor, they had to eliminate him as soon as possible. Only then could they feel at ease. Chapter 2147. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, Lu Ming headed in the direction of the Thunder God sect alone. This time, Mu Qingxue, Yi Dongfang, and the other young geniuses of the ancient Moon Holy Land had invited Lu Ming to a gathering place near the Thunder God sect. It was very luxurious and there was an elegant restaurant. When Lu Ming arrived, there were at least dozens of young geniuses of the ancient Moon Holy Land who came to welcome Lu Ming and congratulate Lu Ming. These young geniuses might not be much on the stage of the Battle of the Ten Lands, but in the ancient Moon Holy Land, they were all top geniuses and would be the pillars of the ancient Moon Holy Land in the future. Everyone toasted each other and it was very lively. After half a day, the banquet finally ended and Lu Ming took his leave. He planned to bring Qiu Yu, Xuaningxin, and Tian Chui back to the Tsang continent in a few days. Lu Ming thought about his next plan as he flew. Suddenly, Lu Ming's hair stood on end as he felt a sense of danger. Without hesitation, Lu Ming quickly retreated. Whoosh! Whoosh! In front of Lu Ming, several terrifying wind blades cut through the space and slashed through. Then, behind Lu Ming, the space shook and several rays of light shot towards Lu Ming. Those were a few Emperor weapons that directly pierced through space with terrifying power. Boom! Lu Ming unleashed his power. He activated all 5 types of laws and cast the Chaos Divine Palm, striking a few times consecutively. Dong! Dong! Several Imperial armaments were knocked flying by the collision. 3-star Illusionary Emperor. As soon as they exchanged blows, Lu Ming felt that the person controlling the Emperor weapons was a 3-star Illusionary Emperor. Rip! Above Lu Ming's head, the wind whistled and heat waves surged. A huge claw grabbed towards Lu Ming. It was extremely terrifying. If Lu Ming was scratched by this claw, he would definitely die. Boom! Lu Ming erupted with power and executed the Sword of Death. A battle sword formed and slashed upwards. Puchi. A huge claw was chopped off by Lu Ming. 4-star Void Emperor. Lu Ming's gaze turned even colder. Golden Crow Clan, Wan Clan, Feng Clan, you're all courting death. Lu Ming shouted angrily. The experts from the Wind Clan, the Wan Clan, and the Golden Crow Clan had made their move. They were all 3-star Void Emperors and above. Kill! A loud roar reverberated in the air. Then, one figure after another appeared, charging towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming discovered that not only were there people from the Wind Clan, the Wan Clan, and the Golden Crow Clan, but there were also people from the Heavenly Wolf Pagoda and the Purple Extreme Sect. Terrifying auras engulfed Lu Ming. Some people's cultivation bases were extremely terrifying. High-level Void Emperor. Lu Ming's expression turned serious. Among them, there were 5-star Empty Emperors, 6-star Empty Emperors, and even 7-star Empty Emperors. Lu Ming, you will die today. Someone said coldly. Kill. A giant wolf pounced towards Lu Ming. Its aura was violent and cold. It was a 4-star Void Emperor. You're the one who's going to die. Lu Ming held the Sword of Death in his hand and slashed out. During this period of time, as Lu Ming comprehended, the Sword of Death and the Hammer of Chaos, these two self-created super skills, became more and more powerful. Poof! Blood spurted out, and a giant wolf head was directly chopped off. A 4-star Void Emperor was directly killed by Lu Ming. This made the others feel a chill in their hearts, and they broke out in cold sweat. This was too terrifying. He was only a boundary emperor, but he could actually kill a 4-star Void Emperor. This was simply unbelievable. Such a thing had never happened before. This kid is even more terrifying than during the 10 Lands battle. We can't let him live. Let's attack together. Loud roars sounded one after another. Indeed, Lu Ming had now cultivated the law of alchemy and had already mastered 6 types of law. His combat strength had increased by another level. Boom! Boom! This time, those high-level Void Emperors also moved. 5-star, 6-star, and even 7-star Void Emperors moved. Streams of terrifying divine powers were about to engulf Lu Ming. Feng Clan, Golden Crow Clan, Wan Clan, Ziji Sect, Sky Wolf Pagoda, you're all courting death. Lu Ming's gaze was extremely cold. Back then, he had sworn that he would destroy the Golden Crow Clan, Wan Clan, and other forces. However, he did not intend to do it now. He planned to wait until he returned to the Divine Wilderness continent and then do it. But now, these forces had taken the initiative to ambush him. Then, he would get rid of these forces. Clang! The sword's roar shook the sky. A stone sword appeared in Lu Ming's hand. It was the sword of the Heavenly Emperor. Poof! 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 Lu Ming swung the sword and slashed out a terrifying sword light. Suddenly, a series of screams sounded. In an instant, a 6-star Void Emperor, 2 4-star Void Emperors, and 3 3-star Void Emperors were slashed into 2 by the sword. The terrifying sword chi in the sword destroyed their souls. Oh no, it's the sword of the Heavenly Emperor. He can control the Heavenly Emperor's physical body. Run, run. The remaining Void Emperors were almost scared to death. They screamed crazily and fled frantically. Since you're here, you must die. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with indifference. The sword of the Heavenly Emperor slashed out continuously. Swoosh! 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 Tiny sword chi entered the air and slashed towards those people. In the next moment, there were endless screams. Those who came to ambush Lu Ming were killed one after another. Void Emperors were too weak in the face of the sword of the Heavenly Emperor. They were like ants. Whether it was a 7-star Void Emperor or a 3-star Void Emperor, there was no difference under the sword of the Heavenly Emperor. They were all killed with one slash. In a few breaths, more than a dozen experts were killed by Lu Ming. The Heavenly Emperor's physical body has stored 36% of the energy. The power of the sword of the Heavenly Emperor has also increased sharply. Moreover, 36% of the energy is enough to destroy a few forces. Lu Ming's eyes flickered with a cold light. He then put away the sword of the Heavenly Emperor and began to collect the spoils of war. These people were all martial emperors and had abundant resources. Lu Ming would not miss out on them. Lu Ming kept the storage rings one by one. In addition, Lu Ming also kept the corpses of the Golden Crow clan experts in the Sky Wolf Pagoda. These were martial emperors, divine wolves and golden crows. The value of their physical bodies was also very high. After collecting, he looked in a direction and said coldly, "Then let's start with the Golden Crow clan." After saying that, Lu Ming turned into a ray of light and flickered away. The Golden Crow clan lived in a group of volcanoes. There was abundant flame energy here and it could continuously absorb the sun's fire essence. It was a rare treasure land. From time to time, one could see 3-legged golden crows flying back and forth between the volcanoes. "What is that?" Suddenly, a golden crow cried out. All the golden crows looked in the same direction. Rumble. The sky shook and an incomparably huge battle sword appeared in the sky. It was a stone sword, but it was too big. It was hundreds of miles long. It fell from the sky and slashed toward the volcanoes where the Golden Crow clan lived. It was like a divine punishment from the gods. The vast and terrifying aura scared many golden crows out of their wits. Someone is attacking. Run, run. Countless golden crows fled in all directions. Boom! Boom! Chapter 2148. The stone sword spanned 100 miles and covered the volcanoes as it slashed down from the sky. The earth split open as the stone sword slashed down. The volcanoes exploded and lava raged everywhere. Ah! Miserable screams resounded as the golden crows were swept by the sword energy and exploded. Their golden feathers fluttered in the air. Who is it? Who wants to kill my tribe? Run first. The golden crows were in complete chaos. The 3-legged golden crows soared into the sky in an attempt to escape. However, in the sky, a figure with a stone sword in hand walked over. Sword light burst forth, killing the golden crows one after another and causing them to fall downwards. Lu Ming, it's you. A loud roar echoed in all directions. It's Lu Ming, it's him. Lu Ming, why do you want to kill our tribe? Many golden crows panicked after hearing that it was Lu Ming. The Golden Crow tribe shall be exterminated. Lu Ming said coldly. The stone sword didn't stop. Each slash killed a golden crow. Moreover, Lu Ming specifically targeted the powerful golden crows. True emperors were powerless before Lu Ming and were killed with a single slash. Whoosh! The next moment, Lu Ming fixed his eyes on a golden crow. This golden crow had an extremely powerful aura. It was a high-level true emperor and most likely a high-ranking member of the Golden Crow tribe. Run, run, run. The Golden Crow tribe leader was panicking. He didn't expect Lu Ming to be able to control the body of a heavenly emperor and wield the heavenly emperor's sword. Even someone as powerful as him felt powerless. He could only run and wait for Tian Luo and the experts from the Mu clan to kill Lu Ming. But in the next moment, he despaired. A sword ray tore through the void and approached him in an instant. No! The chief of the Golden Crow tribe cried out in fear. His entire body was covered with golden flames, as if he had turned into a large sun. He wanted to block Lu Ming's sword light. However, when the sword light slashed past, the flames were extinguished. A sword mark appeared on the forehead of the Golden Crow clan's chief. His soul had already been destroyed. The patriarch of the Golden Crow clan had fallen. This time, the energy stored in the Sky Emperor's body reached 36%. Even if Lu Ming only controlled the sword of the Sky Emperor alone, no one below the Great Emperor level could stop him. The patriarch is dead. Run! The Golden Crows roared one after another. Chaos, complete chaos. Lu Ming went on a killing spree, slashing out sword gleams continuously. He specifically targeted those true emperors and void thearchs. The sword light was too fast. It pierced through the void. Even though the Golden Crow had extreme speed, it was difficult for it to escape. One after another, the Golden Crows fell to the ground and perished. After a long while, Lu Ming finally stopped. Almost all the martial emperors of the Golden Crow clan were slaughtered. Only a few below the martial emperor realm managed to escape. After this battle, the Golden Crow clan could be considered to have declined. Lu Ming's figure flashed as he began to collect the spoils of war. He kept all the corpses of the Golden Crows into a storage ring. After that, Lu Ming turned around and left. As soon as Lu Ming left, many figures flashed over. They were people from the other forces of the ancient Moon Holy Ground. The battle with the Golden Crow clan had caused too much of a commotion. Sword chi filled the sky and the cries of the Golden Crows spread in all directions. When these people arrived, they were deeply shocked. The volcano exploded and lava flowed on the ground, covering the ground with golden feathers of the Golden Crows. From time to time, a few weaker corpses of the Golden Crows could be seen. Lu Ming did not want those corpses and did not take them away. God, the Golden Crow clan has been destroyed. Someone's voice trembled. It's Lu Ming. Someone just shouted for Lu Ming. Lu Ming killed the Golden Crow clan and destroyed them. Many people were dumbfounded. Very quickly, the news spread like wildfire across the entire ancient Moon Holy Land. This was explosive news. Everyone, including all the major powers, was shaken. Many people were dumbfounded when they heard the news. They could not believe it and felt that it was unreal. The Golden Crow clan that had been passed down for countless years in the ancient Moon Holy Ground was destroyed. The person who destroyed it was a young man, Lu Ming. Many people recalled that when the Great Pill Development Palace appeared, the Golden Crow clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, and other forces sent out martial emperors to suppress Lu Ming. At that time, Lu Ming had said that one day, he would destroy the Golden Crow clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, and other forces. Today, it had come true. On this day, two terrifying experts arrived at the Feng clan. The Great Emperor of Tian Luo and the Great Emperor of the Mu clan with a goatee. At this moment, they received the news that the Golden Crow clan had been destroyed. Good, Lu Ming. You're very decisive. I'll take action directly. The Great Emperor of the Mu clan said coldly. Brother Mu, Lu Ming has a heavenly emperor's body in his hands. He can suppress a great emperor. We must be careful. The Great Emperor of Tian Luo warned and briefly explained the matter between Lu Ming and the Great Emperor of the He clan. Old man, he is only a 1-star Great Emperor. I am a 2-star Great Emperor. I can suppress Lu Ming and kill him. The Great Emperor of the goatee sneered and was full of confidence. In the Great Emperor realm, the difference between each star was huge. Lu Ming could barely suppress the Great Emperor of the He clan, but he could kill the Great Emperor of the He clan. At the same time, his eyes shone with greed. The Heavenly Emperor's body. Lu Ming actually had the Heavenly Emperor's body. If Lu Ming could suppress a 1-star Great Emperor by controlling the Heavenly Emperor's body, wouldn't he be able to dominate the Great Emperor realm if it fell into his hands? The Great Emperor of the Goatee's heart was burning. Wait for me here. If there's any situation, immediately send me a message. The Great Emperor of the Goatee said and took a step forward, heading towards the Golden Crow clan. When he arrived at the Golden Crow clan, Lu Ming was long gone. Where will this brat go next? The Great Emperor of the Goatee pondered. Not long after, another explosive piece of news spread throughout the ancient moon's sacred ground. Sky Wolf Pagoda was destroyed. The terrifying Sky Wolves in Sky Wolf Pagoda were killed by Lu Ming. Blood flowed like a river. The ancient moon's sacred ground was shaken once again. In a short period of time, Lu Ming had destroyed two powerful forces. This was a magnitude 12 earthquake. The ancient moon's sacred ground was in an uproar. Everyone was discussing this matter. At the same time, they sent people to observe the developments. The Great Emperor of the Goatee also received the news at the same time. He tore through the void and quickly rushed to Sky Wolf Pagoda. However, Lu Ming had already left. This brat left rather quickly. He's going to take revenge. Very well, I'll wait for him at the Wind Clan. The Great Emperor of the Goatee sneered. As for the Golden Crow clan, he didn't care about Sky Wolf Pagoda being destroyed. His goal was to kill Lu Ming. What did the destruction of these forces have to do with him? After he rushed back to the Wind Clan, he immediately discussed with the Great Emperor of the Tian Luo clan and the clan leader of the Feng clan. Not long after, the clan leader of the Feng clan sent out a message for the Wan clan and the Purple Extreme sect to retreat to the Wind clan. They would wait for Lu Ming there. Chapter 2149. After Lu Ming flattened Sky Wolf Pagoda, he immediately left. His next stop was Lu Ming's trip to the Wan clan. This time, he would not let go of the Feng clan, Wan clan, and Ziji sect. Before returning to the Divine Wilderness continent, he would flatten all of these forces and eliminate them forever. Next was the Wan clan. The Wan clan was the first to have a feud with Lu Ming. It could be said that they would not rest until one of them was dead. It was a pity that when Lu Ming arrived at the Wan family's residence, it was already empty. All the figures above the Sage Realm had left. Those who were left behind were those below the Sage Realm. Lu Ming could not be bothered to kill those below the Saint Realm. He was not a bloodthirsty person. However, he still captured a few people and asked about the Wan clan's whereabouts. Family Head and the others should have gone to the Feng clan. An elder from the Wan clan said in horror, afraid that Lu Ming would kill them in a rage. The Feng clan? It seems that they are waiting for me in the Feng clan. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes slightly. This matter is not that simple. Since they know that I control the Heavenly Emperor's body and still dare to wait for me in the Feng clan, they must have something to rely on. Could there be a great emperor behind this? Lu Ming's mind was constantly thinking. He felt that it was very likely because the whole thing was very strange. As soon as he returned, he was ambushed by the Feng clan, Wan clan, Golden Crow clan, and other forces. Logically speaking, these people would not be so bold because Uncle Kong was there. Uncle Kong had said that before Lu Ming became an emperor, they were not allowed to send people above the martial emperor level to deal with Lu Ming. However, this time, the other party had directly sent experts to ambush him. Even if they wanted to ambush him, they should not have done it in the ancient moon's sacred ground. Or rather, they would not have sent people personally but hired assassins. That was the safest way because if Lu Ming was not dead and the news was leaked, Uncle Kong would not let them off. However, if the other party dared to do so, they most likely had something to rely on. Lu Ming did not immediately kill his way to the Feng clan. No matter who is behind this time, I'll get rid of them once and for all. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with killing intent. Currently, the celestial Thearcha's body had 36% of the energy stored in it. Previously, when he killed the Golden Crow clan and the Sky Wolf Pagoda, the strongest of these two forces were merely high-level true emperors. Therefore, Lu Ming did not expend much energy. This was the source of his confidence. He wanted to completely destroy the Wind Clan, Wan Clan, and Ziji sect. However, if the other party had a great monarch behind him, he wouldn't be able to do it alone. Lu Ming immediately sent a message to Uncle Kong before heading towards Phoenix Palace. Lu Ming's arrival at Phoenix Palace shook the place. Lu Ming's current reputation was too resounding. Soon, Lu Ming met the Palace Lord of Phoenix Palace in the main hall of Phoenix Palace. Lu Ming, why have you come to Phoenix Palace to look for me? Phoenix Palace's Palace Master asked directly. I would like to request Phoenix Palace's assistance in annihilating the Feng Clan, Wan Clan, and Ziji sect. Lu Ming went straight to the point and stated his intentions. Phoenix Palace's Palace Master frowned, seemingly deep in thought. Lu Ming, are you confident? Phoenix Palace's Palace Master asked. This concerned the future of Phoenix Palace, so he had to be cautious. Yes. Even if they have a great monarch behind them, they will still die. It's hard to change anything. Lu Ming was extremely confident. Alright, I agree. I will invite the leaders of other factions to join me in annihilating the Feng Clan, Wan Clan, and Ziji sect. Phoenix Palace's Palace Master made her decision. The Feng Clan was one of the ancient clans with deep roots and great strength. Ever since they came into being, they had been suppressing the other factions of the ancient Moon's sacred ground. Especially after Lu Ming's conflict with the Feng Clan and his killing of Feng Wuxian, the factions that were on good terms with Lu Ming were even more oppressed by the Feng Clan. They had long wanted to rebel. Thank you, Palace Master. I will make another trip to the Divine Elephant sect. Lu Ming expressed his gratitude and left Phoenix Palace, heading toward the Divine Elephant sect. The Divine Elephant sect, like the Phoenix Palace, quickly agreed. They also invited other factions to join the battle. Half a day later, Phoenix Palace's Palace Master and the Divine Elephant sect Master sent Lu Ming a voice transmission. The matter had been decided and a total of 10 factions would join the battle. All the factions agreed to meet at Phoenix Palace. Lu Ming also headed toward Phoenix Palace. When he arrived at Phoenix Palace, the 10 major forces had all arrived. Moreover, the leaders of the 10 factions had all come together. This time, all the factions were going all out to annihilate the Feng Clan. Seniors, please wait a moment. I will start the battle first. If the situation doesn't seem right, you can retreat first. Lu Ming said. If the other side had an expert that even he couldn't defeat, then Phoenix Palace and the other factions would only be sending themselves to their deaths. He had to be on guard against that. Everyone nodded. Naturally, they wouldn't joke about the fate of the entire faction. I'll go first. With that, Lu Ming stepped into the air and headed in the direction of the Feng Clan. Not long after Lu Ming left, the people of the 10 factions also set off toward the Feng Clan. Lu Ming was extremely fast. Soon, several majestic mountains appeared in front of him. The Feng Clan's original headquarters was in a small world. However, ever since they were born, they had built many majestic palaces in the ancient Moon's sacred ground. From afar, one could see that the majestic mountains were filled with magnificent palaces. Lu Ming stepped into the air and headed toward the mountains where the Feng Clan was located. Who's there? Someone noticed Lu Ming and shouted. The person who will kill you. Lu Ming said coldly. With a punch, the person in front of him was torn apart. He was only a quasi-emperor. Naturally, Lu Ming killed him in an instant. You're Lu Ming. Someone recognized Lu Ming and immediately shouted. Lu Ming is attacking. Lu Ming is attacking. Loud roars reverberated throughout the Feng clan. In a large hall, the Tianluo Great Emperor, the Goatee Great Emperor, the Feng clan leader, the Wan clan leader, the Purple Extreme Sect leader, and other higher-ups were discussing matters when they heard a loud roar from outside. "He's finally here." The goateed Great Emperor sneered coldly. He got up and strode outside. The others all followed. Outside the Feng clan, Lu Ming stood in the void with a cold look in his eyes. "The Feng clan sent people to secretly ambush me. Do they really think that I have a good temper and can be bullied at will? Today, I'll flatten the Feng clan." Lu Ming shouted. His voice was like heavenly thunder, exploding in the sky. The sword of the Heavenly Emperor appeared. Lu Ming slashed out. An incomparably huge sword slashed toward the mountains of the Feng clan. Its power was earth-shattering and extremely terrifying. Many disciples of the Feng clan trembled in fear and shouted frantically. "Lu Ming, you're the one who will die today." A cold shout came from the mountains of the Feng clan. A figure rushed into the sky. Then, a giant palm appeared out of thin air. It was bigger than the mountains and covered the sky as it grabbed at the giant sword. Boom! The mountains shook and the world roared. Lu Ming's sword was blocked. The sword light dissipated and a figure appeared in the sky. Chapter 2150. "It's you?" Lu Ming squinted his eyes and a cold glint flashed across his eyes. He recognized the Great Emperor with the goatee at a glance. Back at Destiny Mountain, the Great Emperor with the goatee was the first to attack and kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming was a little surprised. He did not expect the Great Emperor of the Mu clan to be the mastermind. The Mu clan had actually sent people to Yuan Mountain. Then, Lu Ming looked behind and saw the Great Emperor of Tianluo and the rest. And the Daluo Heaven sect. The cold glint in Lu Ming's eyes intensified. The Daluo Heaven sect was within Lu Ming's expectations. He had previously guessed that the Daluo Heaven sect, the Han clan, or the He clan were supporting them. "Lu Ming, how dare you kill the genius of the Mu clan, Mu Yang? Today, I'll bury you with him," the Great Emperor with the goatee said coldly. Then, he exploded with a terrifying aura. The aura was appalling and unimaginably powerful. "He's even stronger than the Great Emperor of the He clan." Lu Ming was surprised. No wonder the Great Emperor was so confident when he knew that he could control the heaven and earth body. It turned out that his cultivation had surpassed the Great Emperor of the He clan. Lu Ming did not hesitate and took out the Heavenly Emperor's body. Lu Ming turned into a rainbow light and entered the Heavenly Emperor's body. The Sky Emperor's body grew rapidly, like a giant standing between the heavens and the earth. "It's a waste for the Heavenly Emperor's body to fall into your hands. Give it to me." The Great Emperor with the goatee's eyes were burning with passion. He took a step forward and stretched out a large hand to grab Lu Ming. "Kill!" Lu Ming roared and controlled the Heavenly Emperor's body. He held the stone sword and slashed out. Puff! The Great Emperor with the goatee's hand was cut in half by Lu Ming's sword. The Great Emperor with the goatee was shocked because the combat power that Lu Ming displayed when controlling the Heavenly Emperor's body was stronger than what the Great Emperor of Tianluo had said. So strong. Lu Ming was amazed. The stored energy had reached 36%. Although it had consumed some before, it was not much. With so much energy stored in it, the power it could unleash was simply too shocking. Kill! Lu Ming let out a battle cry and charged toward the goatee Great Emperor. With a slash of the sword, the stone sword became 100 miles long and 10 miles wide, suppressing the heavens. The stone sword slashed through space and shattered it. The stone sword slashed towards the goateed Great Emperor with boundless spatial turbulence. Boom! The goatee martial monarch unleashed his power too. His body emitted a brilliant glow. The entire place was filled with an indescribable pressure. The world was filled with the aura of the Great Path. The goateed Great Emperor was controlling the Great Tao. At the same time, 2 golden sabers appeared in his hands. He slashed out with the sabers and sliced through the void. Clang! Clang! The saber and the stone sword collided violently. Wang! The saber in the goatee Great Emperor's hand buzzed as if it was under great pressure. Lu Ming was valiant and invincible. Once again, he charged towards his opponent. Kill! The goateed Great Emperor controlled the Great Tao and charged at Lu Ming with 2 golden sabers. The 2 of them fought in the sky. However, the goateed Great Emperor was at a disadvantage. He was completely suppressed by Lu Ming. After every move, the goateed Great Emperor's body trembled and he was forced to retreat. How is this possible? The Tianluo Great Emperor, the Feng clan leader, and the others were in disbelief. The goateed Great Emperor was a 2-star Great Emperor. He was much stronger than the He clan Great Emperor and could even kill him. But now, he was suppressed by Lu Ming and was at a disadvantage. Back in the Celestial City, Lu Ming could barely suppress the He clan Great Emperor when he controlled the Heavenly Emperor's body. Why was he even more terrifying now? Not good. At this moment, the Feng clan leader, Wan clan leader, and the others turned pale. They were relying on the goateed Great Emperor and the Tianluo Great Emperor. But now, the goateed Great Emperor was at a disadvantage. If the goateed Great Emperor was defeated, Lu Ming wouldn't let them off. Their faces were filled with fear. Some of them were already considering if they should escape first. Boom! In the sky, there was another explosion. The goateed Great Emperor was forced to retreat as blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Damn it! The goateed Great Emperor roared. He felt that he had been cheated. The information he received didn't match the reality. I'll send you on your way. Lu Ming roared. The more he fought, the braver he became. He didn't care about his own defense and attacked the goateed Great Emperor. He had to end the battle quickly because the energy in the Heavenly Emperor's body was depleted too quickly when fighting against a Great Emperor. If the battle dragged on for too long and the energy was depleted, he would be finished. Lu Ming gave up on defense and attacked crazily. Clang! The stone sword deflected the goateed Great Emperor's battle blade. Lu Ming kicked the goateed Great Emperor's body, almost causing the goateed Great Emperor's body to explode. The goateed Great Emperor spat out a mouthful of blood and retreated. Lu Ming chased after him relentlessly. Tianluo, come and help me. The goateed Great Emperor shouted for Tianluo to help him. Tianluo Great Emperor's expression changed. In the end, he gritted his teeth and rushed to the sky. He took out a Great Emperor weapon and attacked Lu Ming. Today, he had to get rid of Lu Ming. Otherwise, if the goateed Great Emperor died, he would be finished too. But at this moment, a bright sword light lit up the sky and slashed at Tianluo Great Emperor. Old Devil Dan Kong. Tianluo Great Emperor was shocked and tried his best to defend. Boom! The sky exploded. Uncle Kong's figure appeared. His sword light was shocking as it slashed at Tianluo Great Emperor. Uncle Kong's cultivation was already at the limit of a 1-star Great Emperor. He wasn't far from becoming a 2-star Great Emperor. Moreover, Uncle Kong had cultivated for countless years. His battle strength was obviously stronger than Tianluo Great Emperor. The battle strength of a Great Emperor wasn't just a battle of cultivation. Uncle Kong was obviously stronger in other aspects. Back in Celestial City, Uncle Kong was heavily injured from the battle with the evil god tribe. That was why he was able to fight Tianluo Great Emperor to a draw. Tianluo Great Emperor was also suppressed and could only defend himself. Not good. The Feng clan leader, Wan clan leader, and the others turned pale. The two great emperors that they relied on were at a disadvantage. Once the two great emperors were defeated, they were finished. Retreat, retreat from here. The Feng clan leader roared. They had no choice but to retreat in order to protect the Feng clan. You want to leave? It's too late. A cold voice came from afar. Then, a large number of figures appeared. They were the experts from the Phoenix Palace, Divine Elephant Sect, and the other top 10 forces. It's you. How dare you attack my Feng clan? You're courting death. The Feng clan leader roared. You're the ones who will die. Today, you will die. Attack. Kill. The top 10 forces attacked the Feng clan from all directions. This time, the 10 great forces virtually turned out in full force, sending out all of their powerhouses. Chapter 2151. The 10 great powers moved out in full force with too many experts. All sorts of attacks rained down on the Wind Clan's entrance. Many people from the Wind Clan, Wan Clan, and Violet Extreme Sect were killed. I'll destroy you all. The Wind Clan leader's eyes turned red as he glared at the Phoenix Palace Lord. His body soared into the sky, bringing with it endless gales as he attacked. The Wind Clan leader was a peak 7-star true emperor. He was practically invincible in the ancient moon's sacred ground. The other lords didn't have such a cultivation. Attack together. The Phoenix Palace Lord shouted. The cry of a phoenix resounded from her body, resounding across the firmament. A gigantic phoenix lunged at the Wind Clan leader. Roar. Then, an elephant's cry sounded. Long Chen's master had made his move. Long Chen's master was a supreme elder of the Divine Elephant Sect. He was a 6-star true emperor, an existence on the same level as the Phoenix Palace Lord. He also joined the fray with a punch. A gigantic elephant stomped on the sky and charged at the Wind Clan leader. At the same time, lightning filled the air as if a heavenly tribulation was descending. A figure shrouded in lightning appeared and used a grand technique to attack the Wind Clan leader. This was the sect master of the Thunder God sect, a 6-star true emperor. On top of that, the leader of another faction made his move too. The 4 great experts fought the Wind Clan leader together. The two sides engaged in a fierce battle. It was difficult to determine the victor. The other places were embroiled in bitter battles. The patriarchs of the Wan clan and the Ziji sect both sent out their own experts to fight against them. The Wind Clan was caught in the flames of war. Moreover, the Wind Clan, the Wan clan, and the Ziji sect were at a complete disadvantage. People were constantly being killed. The Wind Clan was strong and was the strongest in the ancient moon's sacred ground. However, this time, the 10 major forces joined forces and sent out all their experts. They had already completely surpassed them. Experts from the Wind Clan, Wan Clan, and Violet Extreme Sect were dying one after another. In the sky, the battle between Lu Ming and the Goatee Emperor had entered its final phase. Lu Ming went all out with more than 30% of his energy, surpassing that of a 2-star great emperor. Moreover, Lu Ming did not need to defend and only needed to attack. His battle prowess was undoubtedly stronger. The goateed great emperor spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Half of his body was struck by Lu Ming's sword light and exploded. He was severely injured. His hair was disheveled and his body was bathed in blood. His aura was getting weaker and weaker. He charged forward with all his might, wanting to escape. But how could Lu Ming let him escape? Lu Ming ignored his defenses and attacked with all his might. His attacks were like a torrential downpour. In the blink of an eye, he had sent out several hundred slashes, completely cutting off his opponent's path of retreat. Ah! The goatee great emperor was mad with hatred. He roared madly and was extremely unwilling to accept this. Could it be that he was going to die here today? He wasn't willing to give up. He had come here to kill Lu Ming, not to throw his life away. He was a great emperor. As long as he made it through the great calamity, his lifespan would be endless. He would dominate a region and receive the respect and reverence of countless people. He didn't want to die. He resisted with all his might. But it was useless. Bang! There was a golden saber in his hand. After the continuous battle, it had been shattered into pieces that flew in all directions. Poof! Lu Ming took advantage of the situation and chased after him. He chopped off the other arm of the goatee Great Emperor. The goatee Great Emperor roared, wanting to recover from his injuries. At the Great Emperor realm, as long as one's soul wasn't destroyed, even a drop of blood could be recovered and the body could be rebuilt. But this time, he couldn't do it. His body couldn't recover immediately. This was because Lu Ming's stone sword contained a terrifying destructive power that was constantly destroying his body. After being injured again and having his emperor weapon destroyed, the goatee Great Emperor's battle strength was even weaker. Kill! And Lu Ming's attacks were still violent. He slashed at the goatee Great Emperor's forehead. The forehead was the place where one's soul was stored. If it was hit, death was certain. The goatee Great Emperor tried his best to dodge. In the end, he managed to avoid being hit. But in the end, he didn't manage to dodge completely. He was split into two by Lu Ming's sword. The goatee Great Emperor controlled half of his body and frantically retreated. His face was filled with horror. Kill! Lu Ming continued to attack. Lu Ming, you can't kill me. I'm the Great Emperor of the Mu clan. If you kill me, the Mu clan won't let you go. The goatee Great Emperor roared. You're a great emperor. At this time, you're actually using the Mu clan to threaten me. What a joke. You're talking as if the Mu clan will let me go if I let you go. Go to hell. Lu Ming sneered. His killing intent was incomparably dense as he continued to attack. Swoosh! The battle sword slashed down. It was incomparably huge. It was as big as a mountain and crushed the void. No! The goatee Great Emperor couldn't dodge. He roared hysterically. Bang! The battle sword pressed down. Half of his body directly exploded. His soul roared and wanted to rush out. But it was mercilessly crushed by the battle sword and exploded. His soul was destroyed. A great emperor had fallen. At this moment, everyone who was fighting felt their hearts tremble violently. Stormy waves rose and they couldn't calm down. Great emperors were the pinnacle of the Yuan mountain. They were supreme and ruled over a region. With a stomp of their feet, the entire Yuan mountain would tremble. Such a figure was now dead. He was killed by Lu Ming. Moreover, he was a 2-star great emperor. Kill! The morale of the 10 major forces including the Phoenix Palace greatly increased. As for the Feng clan, Ziji sect, and Wan clan, their morale was greatly reduced. This way, they were even more vulnerable and were constantly being killed. Great Emperor Tianluo was also greatly shocked. He was originally no match for Uncle Kong. At this moment, his mind was greatly shaken. After being swept by Uncle Kong's sword, he immediately vomited a mouthful of blood. Go! Great Emperor Tianluo did not hesitate. He unleashed his full strength and madly rushed out. He successfully rushed out. He turned into a rainbow light and ran for his life. Trying to escape. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with cold light. He threw the Heavenly Emperor's sword in his hand. The Heavenly Emperor's sword turned into a rainbow light. Its speed was extremely fast as it flew towards Great Emperor Tianluo. Block it! Great Emperor Tianluo roared and unleashed his full strength to block the attack. He threw out several emperor weapons, most of which were true emperor weapons, hoping to block Lu Ming's sword. As the sword light passed through, the emperor weapons exploded one by one. Puff! In the end, the sword light swept past Great Emperor Tianluo and almost cut him in half. However, he managed to dodge it in the end and madly fled into the distance. Whoosh! Uncle Kong turned into a sword light and chased after Great Emperor Tianluo. Lu Ming did not chase after him. In order to kill the Great Emperor with the goatee, he had used up too much energy. Now, the energy in the Heavenly Emperor's body had dropped below 10%. With such energy, even if he chased after Great Emperor Tianluo, he might not be able to kill him. Lu Ming waved his hand and kept the Great Emperor's storage ring. At the same time, he called back the Heavenly Emperor's sword and walked towards the Feng clan leader. Lu Ming, I surrender. The Feng clan will never be your enemy. I am willing to compensate you with a large amount of treasures. Chapter 2152. Previously, Lu Ming had killed the goatee Great Emperor in one fell swoop, which made him extremely terrified. Now that Lu Ming was here, he could not resist at all. Only death awaited him. The Feng clan leader was about to admit defeat. But Lu Ming was unmoved. Treasures? Do you have more treasures than the Great Emperor? Lu Ming said indifferently. Just now, the goatee Great Emperor's storage ring had fallen into his hands. Why would he need any treasures? Don't kill me, Lu Ming. As long as you let me go, I will lead the Feng clan and pledge allegiance to you forever. The Feng clan leader screamed in horror. In order to survive, he did not care about anything else. No need, go on your way in peace. Lu Ming said coldly and then slashed out with his sword. The Feng clan leader tried his best to resist, but it was useless. Although there was not much energy left in the Heavenly Emperor's body, it was not difficult to kill a 7-star true emperor. Poof! The sword light flashed and the Feng clan leader was killed. Subsequently, Lu Ming charged toward the head of the Wan family and the sect master of the Ziji sect. There was no suspense. The leaders of the two forces were killed one after another. Then, Lu Ming killed a few more experts. These people were from the Mu clan and the Daluo Heaven sect. They were all high-level Void Emperors. After killing these people, Lu Ming did not continue to attack and kept the Heavenly Emperor's body. The energy storage of the Heavenly Emperor's body had fallen below 10%. If he wanted to control it next time, he would need to continue to replenish energy. There was no suspense in this battle. The strongest experts of the Feng clan, the Wan clan, and the Ziji sect were all killed. The rest could not resist. The result was already decided. This was a day of bloodshed. Not long after, the experts of the Feng clan, the Wan clan, and the Ziji sect were almost all killed. Those who were left were those with weaker cultivation. The people of the 10 great factions all smiled. The Feng clan was finally destroyed. Swoosh! At this time, a figure appeared. It was Uncle Kong. Tianluo guy escaped, but that guy suffered a fatal injury. He will not recover without 100 years. Uncle Kong said. It was a pity that he could not kill Tianluo Great Emperor. That's good too. I'll personally take Tianluo's life one day. Lu Ming said. By the way, Uncle Kong, the Mu clan lost a great emperor this time. Will they go crazy and take revenge? Lu Ming asked. He would be leaving soon. He was afraid that the Mu clan would send experts to deal with the Divine Elephant sect and Phoenix Palace. The Mu clan has sent a great sovereign to the Yuan Mountain to kill you. I will personally go to the Divine Fate Land. I have a good relationship with one of the overlords of the Divine Fate Land. I will ask them to take action and restrain the Mu clan. The Mu clan will not dare to act recklessly. Kong Bo said. Lu Ming nodded. If that was the case, he was relieved. News of the battle with the Wind tribe soon spread throughout the ancient Moon holy ground, shocking everyone. Not long after, it even spread throughout Yuan Mountain. In this battle, a few powerful factions had been annihilated, and even martial emperors had fallen. It was truly shocking. Most importantly, the martial monarch was killed by Lu Ming. For a time, Lu Ming's reputation reached its peak. Originally, because of the Battle of the 10 Earths, Lu Ming reached the peak, but then he was judged by the Heavenly Emperor that it would be difficult for him to become an emperor. Therefore, everyone in Yuan Mountain knew about him. And now, it was because he killed a great emperor. Countless people were horrified and extremely shocked. Before, there were still people who looked down on Lu Ming, thinking that Lu Ming could not become an emperor because his potential was limited. But now, no one dared to look down on Lu Ming anymore. So what if he couldn't become an emperor? He could still stir up the wind and clouds. Under his anger, several powerful factions were annihilated, and blood flowed like a river. Even great emperors were killed. As long as Lu Ming had the Heavenly Emperor's body in his hands, even if he couldn't become an emperor, he would still be a terrifying existence. Even great emperors would fear him. The outside world was shocked. Countless people were discussing Lu Ming's name, and Lu Ming was already preparing to return to Tsang State. Ancient Moon Holy Land, Wind Clan, Wan Clan, Golden Crow Clan, Sky Wolf Pagoda, and Purple Extreme Sect were destroyed. The resources and territories they left behind were divided by Phoenix Palace and other sections. There was a relatively large reshuffle in Ancient Moon Holy Land's forces. Lu Ming did not participate in all of this. He stayed in the Great Pill Development Hall for a few days. A few days later, Uncle Kong set off for the Divine Fate Land. Lu Ming brought Autumn Moon, Xuanixin, and Tian Chui towards Tsang State. Tsang State, Cloud State, and Emperor State. These three states were located in the Cloud Sea mountain range. They were the closest to the sea and were considered an extremely remote area. Very few people from the various holy lands of Yuan Mountain would come to these three states. Therefore, there was no public teleportation to this place. They had to fly. Lu Ming took out a puppet. This puppet looked like a goshawk. It was the same one that Chao Kai had given him back then. It could travel 100 times faster than the sky-piercing shuttle. The four of them sat on the goshawk puppet. The goshawk puppet spread its wings and flew towards Tsang State at an astonishing speed. The 100-fold piercing sky-flying shuttle was too fast. They were like bolts of lightning. Fortunately, there was a layer of light on the eagle puppet's body. Otherwise, they would have been torn apart by the astral winds. Below them, there were boundless mountains and rivers. One by one, the Emperor forces flew past. Back then, when Lu Ming escaped from the Cloud Sea mountain range, he flew for several months and only flew past a few Emperor-level forces. But now, they only took a few days to arrive at the border of the Cloud Sea mountain range from the ancient Moon Holy Land. After entering the Cloud Sea mountain range, the four of them used their divine breathing technique to disguise themselves and conceal their auras. Now, they did not know the current situation of the three states. Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the others had fallen into the enemy's hands. Naturally, they could not expose their identities. Although Lu Ming was not afraid of the enemy at all with his current combat strength, it was better to hide their identities and rescue them first. After another 2 days, they had passed through the Cloud Sea mountain range and arrived at the border of Cloud State. Senior brother, senior sister, hide your identities first and wait in Cloud State. Autumn Moon and I will go back to Tsang State first and see if we can rescue Master and the others. Lu Ming said to Tian Chui and Xuanixin. Okay, junior brother, be careful. Tian Shui and Xuanixin nodded. They also understood that they were not strong enough. Even if they went with Lu Ming, they would not be of much help. They planned to gather information in Cloud State first. The four of them split up. Lu Ming and Autumn Moon went to Tsang State, while Tian Qi and Xuanixin stayed in Cloud State to gather information. Although they did not ride on puppets, Lu Ming and Autumn Moon's current speed allowed them to cross the entire Cloud State in an hour. They crossed most of Tsang State's territory and arrived near Dragon God Valley. The two of them stood in the sky and looked at Dragon God Valley. Dragon God Valley was not the same as before. Back then, Dragon God Valley was filled with snow all year round. That was because Ice Dragon Ancestor lived in the depths of Dragon God Valley. Ice Dragon Ancestor was cultivating and the temperature was too low, causing snow to fill the sky. But now, the snow had melted and the vegetation was flourishing. Dragon God Valley was full of vitality. Occasionally, there would be people coming in and out. People from Emperor Sky Divine Palace. Chapter 2153. The people from Emperor Sky Divine Palace were easy to recognize as they were all dressed like emperors. It seemed that although many things had happened in Yuan Mountain, Tsang, Cloud, and Emperor regions were not affected as they were too remote. At this moment, in the Dragon God Valley, two figures were running towards the Cloud Dragon Valley. These two people were Lu Ming's two senior brothers. Second senior brother Long Yuanshan and third senior brother Yang Tianzong. The two of them arrived at the Cloud Dragon Valley, entered a cave, and closed the stone door. Senior brother, we're lucky this time. We obtained 2 mystical pattern stones. After refining them, our cultivation will definitely improve. Let's take one each. Yang Tianzong took out 2 pieces of silver stone. There were strange patterns on the stone and it was very mysterious. Junior brother, you should use these 2 mystical pattern stones. You're more talented than me. It would be a waste for me to use them to improve my cultivation. Long Yuanshan said. Senior brother, how can we do that? The two of us obtained the mystical pattern stones together. We should have one each. Senior brother, take it. Yang Tianzong handed one of the mystical pattern stones to Long Yuanshan. At that moment, boom! The stone door of the cave let out a loud boom. Someone was attacking the stone door. Yang Tianzong and Long Yuanshan's expressions changed. Yang Tianzong kept the mystical pattern stones. Boom! Boom! The stone door trembled and then exploded with a bang. A few figures walked in from outside. There were 3 of them. 2 were middle-aged and 1 was an old man. The 3 of them looked at Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong coldly. The 2 of you, hand over the mystical pattern stones. What mystical pattern stones? Elder, did you make a mistake? Long Yuanshan's expression changed slightly before he smiled apologetically. You're still trying to quibble. The 2 of you weren't the only ones who went to the bottom of the sea. Someone saw you obtain the mystical pattern stones. Hand them over quickly. Otherwise, you know the consequences. The old man sneered. Damn it! Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong roared in their hearts. Ever since they were controlled by the evil spirit sect, all their resources had been taken away. Even if they obtained any resources later on, as long as the evil spirit sect knew about it, they would take it away. This caused their cultivation to become extremely slow. Over the years, their cultivation had not improved by much, mainly because their resources had been taken away. They had to rely on the origin energy of the heavens and earth to cultivate slowly, which was extremely slow. Some time ago, they had been sent to the sea to carry out a mission. By chance, they had obtained 2 mystical pattern stones. The mystical pattern stone was a rare treasure of heaven and earth. After refining it, it could greatly increase one's cultivation. It was also of great help to one's comprehension of the laws. As soon as they returned, they immediately planned to refine it. They were afraid that the people from the evil spirit sect would find out and snatch it away. Unexpectedly, as soon as they returned, the other party caught wind of the news and rushed over. Still not handing it over? Do you want to die? Seeing the two of them hesitate, the old man's face darkened. Elder, we are working for the evil spirit sect, but we are not their slaves. We have the right to obtain our own treasures to cultivate. What you are doing is too much. Long Yuanshan said. Haha, too much? Let me tell you, you are the slaves of the evil spirit sect. You have to contribute wholeheartedly to the evil spirit sect. You still want to obtain your own resources to cultivate? Don't even think about it, understand? The old man laughed loudly. The other two middle-aged men also laughed maniacally. Damn it! Yang Tianzong roared, his eyes flashing fiercely. What are you doing? Are you trying to rebel? As long as I report this, you will suffer a fate worse than death. Don't forget, there are restrictions in your soul. The old man was fearless. Junior brother, don't act rashly. Long Yuanshan held Yang Tianzong down, telling him not to act rashly. Their souls had been restricted by the evil spirit sect's experts. Their lives were completely under the other party's control. If they acted rashly, only death would await them. Yang Tianzong had no choice but to endure. A slave is a slave. You have to do your duty as a slave. Now, hand over the mystical patterned stone and kneel down to admit your mistakes. I can let bygones be bygones. Hurry up. The old man said. What? You want us to kneel? Yang Tianzong was furious. Even Long Yuanshan was the same. This was too much. Kneeling down is already giving you a way out. Hurry up, I don't have that much time to waste on you. The old man shouted. Since you're in such a hurry, I'll send you on your way. At that moment, a voice rang out. It came from outside the cave. When they heard that voice, Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong trembled. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. That was because they were all too familiar with that voice. Meanwhile, the old man's eyes turned cold. Cold murderous intent filled the air. He turned around and shouted coldly, "Who's the blind fool? You're courting death." Then, everyone saw a young man and a young woman walk in from outside the cave. The man looked to be in his 20s. He was tall and straight, and his eyes were like stars. He had an indescribable aura. The woman looked to be in her 20s. She wore a snow-white dress and looked like a fairy from a painting. Junior brother, it's really you. Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong exclaimed at the same time. The ones who had entered were naturally Lu Ming and Xiao Autumn Moon. Just now, the two of them had checked the surroundings outside before they entered Dragon God Valley and headed towards Cloud Dragon Valley. With Lu Ming's sharp hearing, he heard the commotion the moment he entered Cloud Dragon Valley. He was instantly enraged. Junior brother? You're from Dragon God Valley too? I've never seen you before. The old man said in a deep voice. Lu Ming ignored him and walked towards Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong. He cupped his fists and said, "Senior brothers, long time no see. Junior brother, why are you back?" When Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong saw Lu Ming, they were happy but worried at the same time. They did not know if Lu Ming had any backup. If he did not have any backup, they would be in trouble. They had heard from the Cloud Dragon Valley Master that Lu Ming had escaped and he would seek help. They wondered if he had managed to get help from any experts. "Kid, it seems like you're the fish that escaped the net back then. Haha, you still dare to show yourself. You're courting death." The old man thought about it and knew that Lu Ming had not been caught back then. But since he had escaped, he still dared to show himself like this. How foolish. Lu Ming turned around and looked at the old man and the two burly men. Kneel down and commit suicide. What? What did you say? The old man and the two burly men thought that they had heard wrongly. This kid actually told them to kneel down and commit suicide? Was he crazy? This was the territory of the evil spirit sect. Moreover, their cultivation levels were extremely high. This kid did not look very old, but he actually told them to kneel down and commit suicide. His arrogance made them want to laugh. They felt that it was the biggest joke in the world. But in the next moment, they could not laugh anymore. Because a terrifying aura suddenly erupted from Lu Ming's body. The terrifying pressure was like hundreds of mountains pressing down on them. Plop. 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 Chapter 2154. That old man was at the great sage greater mastery. The two burly men were at the bright sage realm. They were no different from ants in Lu Ming's eyes. He only released a trace of his aura, and the three of them were forced to kneel on the ground. Ah, who are you? The old man struggled with all his might, but it was useless. The space seemed to have frozen, and the terrifying pressure seemed to be about to crush his body. He was terrified. He realized that this young man's cultivation was unbelievable. Just his aura alone could make him kneel on the ground. What kind of cultivation did he have? In his impression, even an ordinary great sage lesser mastery couldn't do that, unless he was stronger. Could this young man be at the great sage lesser mastery? Thinking of this, he broke out in cold sweat. Disciple of the Dragon God Valley, Lu Ming. Lu Ming said calmly. Ah, let us go. The entire Dragon God Valley is under our control. If you don't let us go, you're courting death. Not only will you die, but everyone in the Dragon God Valley will die. The old man shouted. He deliberately raised his voice to alert the others. Unfortunately, Lu Ming had already set up an energy barrier at the entrance of the cave. The commotion here couldn't be heard at all. This time, the evil spirit sect will be completely destroyed. Lu Ming sneered, and his killing intent was like a knife. Help! The old man and the two burly men screamed in horror. But Lu Ming's eyes were filled with the light of death, and the three of them were instantly enveloped by the light of death. Then, they turned into ashes and dissipated. Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong sighed. They hadn't seen their junior brother for many years. It seemed that their junior brother had become stronger, reaching a height that they couldn't reach. That old man was at the great sage greater mastery, but he couldn't resist Lu Ming at all and was directly killed. And Lu Ming didn't even make a move from the beginning to the end. This kind of method made them feel that it was somewhat inconceivable. Junior brother, hurry up and leave. If you kill them, the evil spirit sect will soon find out. When they send experts, it will be troublesome. At this moment, Long Yuanshan thought of something and said with a solemn expression. Second senior brother, third senior brother, I've come back to save you. Lu Ming said. Save us? Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong were stunned for a moment before their faces lit up with joy. Little junior brother, did you manage to get reinforcements from the ancient Moon Holy Land? They thought that since Lu Ming was so confident, he must have invited reinforcements. Reinforcements? You can say that. Lu Ming rubbed his nose and said, right, where is Master? And where are the others from Dragon God Valley? Little junior brother, Master is in the original Sky Universe Demon sect. In fact, more than half of the people from Dragon God Valley are there. Most of the people from the other sects in the Tsang state are also there. They are working as coolies to refine a kind of demonic pill for the evil spirit sect. Long Yuanshan said. I heard that those demonic pills can help the evil spirit sect's disciples increase their cultivation. That damned evil spirit sect, they're treating us like slaves. Yang Tianzong said unhappily. They're all in the Sky Universe Demon sect. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with killing intent as he continued, second senior brother, third senior brother, I'll break the restrictions in your souls first. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, it wouldn't be too difficult to break the restrictions in their souls. Break the restrictions? No, as long as you break our restrictions, the person who set the restrictions will immediately discover it. At that time, the others will be in danger. Long Yuanshan hurriedly said. Lu Ming frowned. This was indeed very troublesome. Everyone's souls had restrictions placed on them, and their lives were in the hands of the other party. He had to solve this problem. Otherwise, no matter how strong Lu Ming's cultivation was, he wouldn't be able to do anything. Then, he asked, Senior brother, do you know how many people from the evil spirit sect set up the restrictions and where they are? As far as I know, there's only one person from the evil spirit sect who set up the restrictions, and this person is also in the Sky Universe Demon sect. Long Yuanshan said. There's only one person. Lu Ming was delighted. If there was only one person, then it would be easy. Senior brother, let's set off and head to the Sky Universe Demon sect to kill the person who set up the restrictions. Lu Ming said. Wait a minute, junior brother, don't act rashly. The person who set up the restrictions is a quasi-emperor. Moreover, there's a law king from the evil spirit sect in the Sky Universe Demon sect. Long Yuanshan hurriedly said. The law kings of the evil spirit sect were all martial emperors. Wouldn't they be courting death if they went over like this? It's fine. It's just a law king. There's nothing to worry about. Lu Ming smiled. Junior brother, did you really invite reinforcements from the ancient moon sacred ground that can suppress a martial emperor? Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong were overjoyed. It's enough to kill a martial emperor. Senior brothers, don't worry. You just have to bring me to the person who set up the restrictions. Lu Ming said. Alright, in that case, let's go. Long Yuanshan made up his mind. Senior brothers, wait for me for a moment. Lu Ming's figure flashed and left the cave abode. In less than a minute, Lu Ming returned. Just now, he had already circled around the Dragon God Valley and killed all the evil spirit sect cultivators at the sage stage and above who were guarding the Dragon God Valley silently. In this way, after the person who set up the restrictions was killed, the people of the Dragon God Valley would be able to break the restrictions and take advantage of the situation to defeat the people of the evil spirit sect. Let's go. Lu Ming waved his hand and a force swept Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong out of the cave abode and flew toward the Sky Universe Demon sect at an extremely fast speed. This speed, Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong were shocked. Lu Ming's speed was too shocking and beyond their imagination. He was much faster than many of the absolute saints they had seen. Not long after, a large area of the Demon Mountain was in sight. Figures could be seen flashing from time to time in the Sky Universe Demon sect. Junior brother, where's the reinforcements you invited? Long Yuanshan asked. Yang Tianzong was also curious. They had already arrived at the Sky Universe Demon sect, but they did not see anyone else. There were only a few of them. Autumn Moon, do it. At this moment, Lu Ming said to Autumn Moon. Autumn Moon nodded. Huh? Her? Junior brother, you can't do that. The king of the evil spirit sect is guarding this place. He is a martial emperor. If you ask this young lady to do it, you will be harming her. Long Yuanshan quickly stopped him. Before Autumn Moon, she had been following Lu Ming obediently. Moreover, she was so young. They had not thought about how strong Autumn Moon's cultivation was before. Now, Lu Ming had asked Autumn Moon to do it. Wasn't this asking Autumn Moon to die? Don't worry. Xiao Yu smiled and stepped forth, appearing in the air above the numerous devil mountains. Boom! Then, a terrifying aura erupted from Autumn Moon's body. That was the Emperor's aura. It was vast and unfathomable like the vast ocean. Chapter 2155. Autumn Moon unleashed the aura of a martial emperor, and a terrifying pressure pressed down on the demon mountains of the Sky Universe Demon Sect. Feeling the terrifying aura from Autumn Moon, Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong were completely stunned. Then, their bodies started to tremble. Martial Emperor. Autumn Moon was actually a martial emperor. The beautiful lady beside Lu Ming was actually a martial emperor. Gosh, such a young martial emperor. What did a martial emperor represent? In Tsang State, it was the ruler, the supreme existence. The people of Tsang State basically did not know the specific classification of martial emperors. In their eyes, as long as one reached the martial emperor level, one was an invincible figure. In fact, many people even addressed ordinary void emperors as great emperors. At this moment, the Sky Universe Demon Sect was in complete chaos. Martial Emperor, it's a martial emperor. A martial emperor has appeared. Someone shouted. In the demon mountains of the Sky Universe Demon Sect, figures flashed and some were frightened. This was because this was an unfamiliar martial emperor, not a martial emperor from the evil spirit sect. Swoosh! A beam of light shot out from one of the demon mountains. In the sky, a figure appeared, emitting a terrifying aura. Martial Emperor's aura. This was also a martial emperor. It's the Soul Destroyer King, it's him. This guy is indeed not dead. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. The person who had appeared was actually the Soul Destroyer King. When Lu Ming first came to the Yuan continent, he had entered the Tsang Emperor's secret realm. In the secret realm, he had seen the Soul Destroyer King and the Tsang Emperor. The two of them had fought for 60,000 years inside. Later, the Tsang Emperor's corpse appeared, but the Soul Destroyer King had disappeared. Then, there was news that Lu Ming had obtained the Tsang Emperor's storage ring and inheritance. This news had almost forced Lu Ming into a desperate situation. At that time, Lu Ming suspected that the Soul Destroyer King was not dead and that he was the one who had leaked the news. Now, it seemed that it was true. Moreover, the injuries of the Soul Destroyer King had already healed. It's just a one-star Void Emperor. Lu Ming sensed and discovered that the Soul Annihilation Master King was only a one-star Void Emperor. He felt relieved. An ordinary one-star Void Emperor would not be a match for Autumn Moon. Who are you? The Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni said solemnly. Chiao Autumn Moon looked so young, but she had already broken through to the martial emperor realm. This shocked him. The person who will kill you. Autumn Moon said coldly. She waved her hand and sent a palm strike towards the Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni. The Soul Destroyer Shakyamuni had no choice but to fight with Autumn Moon. The two of them fought in the sky, causing the void to tremble. Junior brother, is Miss Autumn Moon the reinforcements you invited? Long Yuanshan asked. Lu Ming smiled and didn't answer. He said, Senior Martial Brothers, take me to the Empyrean Demon Sect and find the person who placed the restriction. All right. Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong nodded. They knew that it was a crucial moment and they could only choose to believe in Lu Ming. The three of them rushed into the Sky Universe Demon Sect. Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong were also controlled, so the evil spirit sect members would not stop them. Lu Ming restrained his aura and followed the two of them. The others also thought that Lu Ming was one of them and naturally did not stop them. They shuttled through the demon mountains, looking for the person who had placed the restriction. Moreover, everyone was attracted by the battle in the sky. Not many people were paying attention to Lu Ming and the others. I see it. Suddenly, Yang Tianzong's face lit up. A group of people stood on a demon mountain in front of them. One of them was a skinny old woman. Lu Ming recognized her at a glance because he had seen this old woman place a restriction for others with his own eyes. The three of them flew toward the mountain. "What are you doing?" Someone looked at the three of them. "My lord, we have something to report. It's about the martial emperor." Long Yuanshan bowed. "Oh, come over here." The skinny old woman looked at Long Yuanshan and the other two. The three of them flew toward the demon mountain and slowly approached the skinny old woman. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes. He had to kill this old woman in an instant. Otherwise, Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong would be in danger. She could control the restriction with a thought and destroy Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong's souls. "Do you know who the martial emperor is? What news do you have? Tell me everything," the skinny old woman said. Beside him, there were a few elders. Each of them had a profound cultivation base. They were all quasi-emperors. "My lord, I accidentally received a piece of news. It's like this." Lu Ming took a few steps forward and pretended to reply as he moved closer to the old woman. "What is it? Say it." "No, wait a minute, you." At this moment, the old woman realized that something was wrong. She did not sense the fluctuation of her restriction on Lu Ming. In other words, Lu Ming was not controlled by her restriction. Other than the D family, the Sky Universe Demon Sect, and the Evil Spirit Sect's disciples who were not controlled by her restriction, the other forces who had surrendered were all controlled by her restriction. Could it be that this kid is from the Evil Spirit Sect or the D family? In an instant, many thoughts flashed through the old woman's mind. Boom! At this moment, Lu Ming exploded and charged toward the old woman. To Lu Ming, the distance of dozens of meters was covered in an instant. It was even faster than a human's reaction time. Before the old woman could even react, Lu Ming had rushed in front of her and struck her head with his palm. Poof! The old woman's head exploded like a watermelon. She was killed in one move. At this moment, the others finally reacted. "You're courting death. Kid, kill." The other boundary thearchs beside the old woman were enraged and charged toward Lu Ming. The old woman was able to place restrictions in other people's souls. This required talent, and not everyone in the Evil Spirit Sect knew how to do it. It was extremely rare. Now, the only person in the entire Evil Spirit Sect who could do it was the old woman. The old woman had a disciple. Although he also had such talent, his cultivation was too weak and could not be of much use. Therefore, the old woman's death was definitely a great loss to the Evil Spirit Sect. "You're the ones who will die," Lu Ming said coldly as he struck out with his palm. The terrifying palm force surged out like an avalanche. Several boundary thearchs' bodies exploded and died on the spot. At this moment, Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong reacted and were dumbfounded. Those were boundary thearchs. Several boundary thearchs were actually unable to resist Lu Ming and were killed with a single palm strike. What cultivation level had Lu Ming reached now? "Senior brother, have your restrictions been broken?" Lu Ming asked. "It's broken." Once the old woman died, the restrictions were automatically broken. The two of them reacted and revealed joyful expressions. "The restriction has been broken. Our restriction has been broken." At this moment, the entire Sky Universe Demon Sect was in an uproar. At least half of all the sects that had surrendered in the Tsang state had gathered here to help the Evil Spirit Sect refine pills. At this moment, everyone felt that their restrictions had been broken. "Everyone, let's kill our way out." At this moment, there was a loud roar. Then, a sword light soared into the sky and killed several Evil Spirit Sect disciples. Master. Chapter 2156. In the Sky Universe Demon Sect, an old man was slaughtering. Wherever his sword light passed, several evil spirit sect disciples were killed. This old man was Lu Ming's master, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. Kill all these bastards. With a roar, a ferocious tiger roared and soared into the sky. With a slap, it killed a few evil spirit sect disciples. This was also an absolute saint, a powerhouse of the demon castle. Then, more people rioted. All these years, they had been controlled by the restrictions and had been bullied. Now that the restrictions had disappeared, everyone immediately rioted and wanted to rush out. You're courting death. Within the many demonic mountains, terrifying auras rose up one after another. The evil spirit sect and the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace had arranged for many experts to be here. Apart from the old lady and the rest, there were more than 10 absolute sage experts. However, there were no quasi-thearchs. They had all been killed by Lu Ming. More than 10 absolute saints stepped into the air and charged toward the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the tiger. Lu Ming waved his hand, and more than 10 spears condensed in the air. Swoosh! Swoosh! These spears turned into streaks of light and stabbed toward those absolute saints. Oh no, no, these absolute saints sensed a terrifying danger and wanted to dodge, but it was too late. Poof! Poof! More than 10 absolute saints were all pierced by the spears and died on the spot. Their bodies fell to the ground. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the tiger were shocked as they looked toward Lu Ming and the others. Upon seeing Lu Ming, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master's eyes widened in joy. Ming, The Cloud Dragon Valley Master was truly ecstatic. Just now, those spears had been shot out by Lu Ming. They had instantly killed more than 10 absolute saints, leaving him stunned. He understood that after not seeing him for so many years, his disciples' cultivation had completely surpassed his. Master. Lu Ming also smiled. Kill, kill. At this moment, the Sky Universe Demon sect was in complete chaos. The others saw that the evil spirit sect and D family's absolute saints were killed instantly. At this time, there were no more experts left. The people of the major sects took the opportunity to counterattack and attacked the people of the evil spirit sect and D family. The scene was in chaos. Ming, let's talk later. Kill the enemy first. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. Then, he turned into a beam of sword light and charged towards the people from the evil spirit sect and D family. The absolute saints of the evil spirit sect and D family were no match for the Valley Master and the others. The situation was one-sided. The Sky Universe Demon sect had gathered more than half of the people in the Tsang state. In terms of numbers, they had far more people than the evil spirit sect and the D family. In the past, because he had taken control of everyone's souls, he didn't need many people to manage them. Now that the soul restriction had been broken, and all of the Paragon Saints had been killed, the situation was completely one-sided. Lu Ming sect, Sect's King sect, Master, Autumn. At that moment, Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Qiu Yu. Earlier, Qiu Yu hadn't used her full strength at all. Boom! God Emperor Sect Master's sect. The law of yin and yang turned into a terrifying destructive force and blasted towards the soul-destroying Shakyamuni. The laws of yin and yang. You have a king body. Shakyamuni soul extinguisher screamed in horror. Boom! King Sect Master God was sent flying by Autumn Moon. He spat out a large mouthful of blood and almost exploded. Run, run! King Sect Master God turned around and ran. Ordinary martial emperors were no match for Kings. His talent was limited. Although he had been a martial emperor for many years, he was only a one-star Void Arch. His battle prowess was not strong and he was no match for Autumn Moon. Die! Autumn Moon shouted. She waved her hands, and 2 scimitars appeared. They turned into a yin-yang wheel and charged toward King Sect Master God. King Sect Master God roared and tried his best to block, but he couldn't block it at all. His body was pierced through by the yin-yang wheel. King Sect Master God dragged his broken body and fled frantically. However, the yin-yang wheel caught up and crushed down. Bang! King Sect Master God's body exploded. His soul let out a shrill scream that resounded throughout the demon sect. Then, his soul was also destroyed and turned into ashes. King Sect Master God is dead. A martial emperor has been killed. Everyone was shocked. A martial emperor was killed just like that. Everyone was shocked. After that, the morale of the various sects in Tsang state increased greatly. On the other hand, the morale of the evil spirit sect and the D family was greatly reduced. They began to flee. Junior brother, let's go and kill the enemies too. Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong also charged toward the crowd. Lu Ming stepped into the air. Many long spears condensed around his body. From time to time, a long spear would fly out. Every time a long spear flew out, it would kill a powerful figure on the other side. There was no suspense in this battle. Not long after, almost all the people of the evil spirit sect and the D family were killed. Basically, no one escaped. At this moment, Autumn Moon stepped into the air and walked toward Lu Ming. Everyone's gaze fell on Autumn Moon. She was a martial emperor. Such a young and beautiful martial emperor was amazing. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master, the Tiger, and a few others were all sages. At this moment, they were flying toward Autumn Moon. Thank you for your help, Martial Emperor. Thank you, Martial Emperor. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the others bowed respectfully to Autumn Moon. In their eyes, a martial emperor was a supreme existence. They guessed that Autumn Moon must be from the ancient moon's sacred ground. They were amazed. The ancient moon's sacred ground was indeed a sacred ground. It was amazing that they had such a young martial emperor. Autumn Moon's beautiful face blushed slightly. She was a little embarrassed and said softly, "You don't have to thank me. Young master asked me to do it. Moreover, you are his family and friends. I should help." What? Young master? Everyone was stunned. Autumn Moon, such a peerless beauty, was actually someone's maid? Such a young martial emperor was a maid? Then what kind of person was the young master that Autumn Moon mentioned? Many people began to look around, looking for the young master that Autumn Moon mentioned. At this moment, Autumn Moon silently came to Lu Ming's side. "Young master." Autumn Moon called out softly. "What? Nest. What did I just hear?" There was a sudden silence at the scene. Everyone was petrified. All of them stared at Lu Ming in a daze. Their eyeballs were about to pop out. The young master that Autumn Moon mentioned was actually Lu Ming? Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong were also petrified. Previously, they thought that Autumn Moon was an expert that Lu Ming had invited from the ancient moon's sacred ground. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that Autumn Moon was actually Lu Ming's maid. A young martial emperor as a maid. Everyone felt that their minds were frozen and their faces were filled with confusion. Lu Ming. He is Lu Ming. It's really Lu Ming. Many people exclaimed. They finally recognized Lu Ming. Lu Ming's name had shaken the Tsang state. He was the #1 genius in the Tsang state. Everyone knew about him. Now that many people realized it, they were even more shocked. "Master, second senior brother, third senior brother, although Autumn Moon is my maid, I have always treated her as my family." Lu Ming held Autumn Moon's hand and smiled. Chapter 2157. Autumn Moon blushed slightly as she stood obediently beside Lu Ming. Everyone was envious. She was a martial emperor, but she was so obedient. This was simply the dream of all men. However, many people immediately thought of Lu Ming's battle prowess. Just now, many people had seen Lu Ming's attack. The absolute saint couldn't withstand a single blow from Lu Ming and was instantly killed. Lu Ming's battle prowess was also incomparably terrifying. Could it be that Lu Ming had also broken through to the Sage realm or even the Quasi-Thearch realm? Many people sighed. When Lu Ming was in Tsang state, he had already displayed terrifying talent and suppressed the younger generation. Later on, when he became a sage, he could even kill enemies one level higher. Now, if Lu Ming had already broken through to the absolute saint realm, it would naturally be easy for him to kill an absolute saint of the same level. Many people looked at Lu Ming with awe and respect in their eyes. Lu Ming's current strength was undoubtedly at the peak of Tsang state. Master, where is the headquarters of the evil spirit sect? Lu Ming looked at the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and asked. He didn't see the Heavenly Universe Demon Sect Master and the others in the Heavenly Universe Demon Sect. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master still had a smile on his face. When he heard this, he said, the headquarters of the Evil Spirit Sect is in the D Clan. Many people of the Evil Spirit Sect are there. The D Clan? Lu Ming whispered as killing intent flashed in his eyes. Master, are all the people from the sects in the Tsang state here? Lu Ming asked again. No, most of them are gathered here. There are also some scattered in the original sections. However, there aren't many experts of the Evil Spirit Sect in those sections. This time, the soul restriction has been broken. I believe many people will take the opportunity to escape. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. Lu Ming nodded. Just like the Dragon God Valley, there were also some people, but not many. Master, everyone, can you please spread the news and ask everyone to gather here? Lu Ming said. Alright, I'll spread the news now and get everyone to gather here. The Evil Spirit Sect has suffered heavy losses in this battle, so they will definitely take action. Cloud Dragon Valley Master nodded. Immediately, everyone spread the news. Lu Ming smiled. The reason he had sent out the news and gathered everyone was not because he wanted to gather strength for defense, but because he wanted to attack. He wanted to attack the D family. If news of this spread out, the D family and the Evil Spirit Sect would definitely be shaken. In that case, they would gather all their experts and wipe them out in one fell swoop. This was Lu Ming's plan, to wipe them out in one fell swoop. If they split up, Lu Ming would have to run from place to place, which would be too troublesome. The others naturally didn't know what he was thinking. They thought that he was gathering his strength to defend himself. The news spread very quickly. Tsang Continent, Cloud Continent, and Emperor Continent were shaken. Lu Ming, the prodigy of Tsang Continent, had returned with a martial emperor. As soon as he returned, he killed a Dharma king of the Evil Spirit Sect. The fall of a martial emperor shocked everyone in the 3 continents. In Tsang Continent, most of the people who had surrendered to the Evil Spirit Sect and were controlled by them had escaped from the Evil Spirit Sect's control and rushed toward the Sky Universe Demon Sect. In the next 10 days, more and more people gathered at the Sky Universe Demon Sect. Back then, there were 13 overlord sects in Tsang Continent, countless small sects, and many experts. For a time, the Sky Universe Demon Sect was filled with people. Of course, sects like the Sky Universe Demon Sect, the Poison Sect, and the Blood Demon House that had long surrendered to the Evil Spirit Sect were already considered members of the Evil Spirit Sect. However, they didn't see anyone from the Heavenly Divine Sect. In these 10 days, the 3 continents couldn't calm down. It could be said that the wind and clouds were surging. Everyone felt a stifling aura. Everyone knew that a great battle was about to erupt. The evil spirit sect had suffered such great losses, so they wouldn't let it go just like that. They would definitely take action. These 10 days seemed calm on the surface, but it was actually the calm before the storm. It was very stifling. The D clan was located in the best area of the Emperor region. The origin energy here was rich, and there were many outstanding people. Numerous palaces were located in this area. The palaces were everywhere, just like the heavenly palaces in the legends. During this period of time, the palace was not peaceful. Many people were discussing one thing, which was Lu Ming's domineering return with a martial emperor. In one of the palaces, a few people were discussing something. It was the Heavenly Divine Sect master and a few elders. Over the years, the Heavenly Divine Sect had almost completely surrendered to the Evil Spirit Sect. They were loyal to the Evil Spirit Sect, so they had obtained a lot of resources and their cultivation had advanced by leaps and bounds. Sect Master, now that Lu Ming has returned with a martial emperor from the outside world, it looks like he wants to destroy the Evil Spirit Sect. Now that our soul restriction has been broken, should we take the opportunity to leave the Evil Spirit Sect and leave this place? An elder asked. Fool! The Heavenly Divine Sect Master scolded. I heard that Lu Ming only brought a martial emperor back. What use can a martial emperor be? Also, let me tell you, the Evil Spirit Sect's waters are deep. Do you think that the Evil Spirit Sect only has a few law kings? Could it be that the Evil Spirit Sect has other martial emperors in secret? The expressions of the Heavenly Divine Sect's elders changed. That's right. So that Lu Ming is just courting death. Now, not only can we not leave the Evil Spirit Sect, but we also have to express our loyalty to the Evil Spirit Sect. This way, the Evil Spirit Sect will think even more highly of us. The Heavenly Divine Sect Master looked confident. Sect Master is wise. Several elders began to flatter him. In another palace, the Sky Universe Demon Sect Master, the Poison Sect Master, and the others were also discussing something. Lu Ming, I didn't expect you to really bring back a powerhouse. But so what? Only death awaits you. The Sky Universe Demon Sect Master sneered. The atmosphere in the three states became more and more solemn. At this time, Xuaningxin and Tian Chui had also arrived at the Sky Universe Demon Sect. When they saw the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, they were naturally happy. Xuaningxin and Tian Chui also brought news that the Evil Spirit Sect and D Family's experts in the Cloud State had all gathered at the D Family's headquarters. Good. Lu Ming revealed a smile. He then gathered everyone and started the discussion. Everyone, now that everyone from the Evil Spirit Sect and D Family has gathered at the D Family, I have decided to attack the D Family and destroy the Evil Spirit Sect and D Family in one fell swoop. Lu Ming said loudly. What? Attack the D Family? That's courting death. Everyone was shocked and looked at Lu Ming in disbelief. Lu Ming, is what you said true? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master was also in disbelief. Lu Ming actually wanted to attack the D Family. Now, the D Family and Evil Spirit Sect's experts had gathered. Unlike the Sky Universe Demon Sect, there was definitely more than one martial emperor expert. Wouldn't they be courting death if they went to attack? That's right, I'm waiting for them to gather before attacking. It's just nice to wipe them out in one fell swoop. Lu Ming said. Many people were speechless. Chapter 2158. Many people looked at each other. They had thought that Lu Ming had gathered the people of the various sects to defend against the attack of the Evil Spirit Sect. It turned out that he was waiting for the experts of the Evil Spirit Sect and the D Family to gather and then wipe them out. This idea was too crazy. Ming, did you invite other experts, such as other martial emperors? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master asked. No, it's just us. Lu Ming said. The scene was silent. Many people were a little stunned. Young hero Lu Ming, it's not that I look down on you, but the evil spirit sect has at least 2 guardian kings. Moreover, the head of the Di family, Di Shitian, is a terrifying martial emperor. If we go there, it's no doubt that we will be throwing eggs at a rock. That's right. Our current plan is to gather together and then break out of the 3 states and go to other states. A few old men spoke. They were the grand elders of several sects, and their cultivation was at the sage stage. I'm naturally confident in doing so. Why would I joke about my own life? Moreover, my master and senior brothers are all together. Lu Ming said. Everyone's heart skipped a beat. That was indeed the case. Lu Ming was a prodigy. How could he be so reckless and send himself to death when he knew that he was no match for them? Did Lu Ming have any trump cards? Alright, Ming, I'll go with you to the Di family. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said first. I'll go too. Long Yuanshan and Yang Tianzong also spoke. I'll go too. Then, the tiger from the Demon Castle also spoke. Then, many people agreed to go with Lu Ming to the Di family. However, some people still didn't speak. What about you? What do you plan to do if you don't go? Lu Ming looked at those who didn't speak. We plan to enter the Cloud Sea mountain range and go to other states. An old man with a hooked nose said. This old man with a hooked nose was a grand elder of the 9 Heaven Sword sect. He was also a sage stage cultivator. Oh, that's good. If you don't go and the Di family and evil spirit sect are destroyed by me, there will be no share of the 3 states. Lu Ming said coldly. The expressions of the hook-nosed old man and the others changed slightly. Lu Ming's meaning was very clear. If the evil spirit sect and the Di family were destroyed, then those who had not participated in it would not have the right to stay in the 3 states. Those who were unwilling to go had gloomy expressions as their gazes shifted. Alright, we've made up our mind. Let's go. Lu Ming leaped into the air. With a wave of his hand, 3 puppets appeared in the sky. One of them was the eagle puppet that Lu Ming often used. The other 2 were also bird-type puppets that Lu Ming had bought in the Divine Golem sect. Their speed was not the slightest bit inferior to the eagle puppet. The 3 puppets rapidly grew in size. When they spread their wings, they were at least 1,000 meters long. They were like 3 small mountains that filled the sky. Master, all of you come up. Lu Ming shouted. Those who were willing to follow Lu Ming to the Di family all leaped into the air and flew onto the puppets. A layer of light spread out from the puppets and enveloped everyone. Then, with a thought from Lu Ming, the 3 puppets flew into the sky and disappeared without a trace. So fast. The rest of the people were tongue-tied. Brother Wang, what are we going to do next? Someone asked the hook-nosed old man of the 9 Heaven Sword sect. Humph, that Lu Ming is too arrogant. The strength of the evil spirit sect and the Di family is definitely beyond imagination. They will only die if they go. The hook-nosed old man sneered. But I think that Lu Ming is full of confidence. Maybe he has some trump cards. He is a peerless prodigy. If he really has some trump cards, then maybe. Someone else said. The hook-nosed old man's eyes flashed as he thought of all kinds of possibilities. Why don't we do this? We'll head to the Di clan and hide in the dark to observe. If Lu Ming is defeated and killed, we'll escape to the Cloud Sea mountain range from Emperor District and head to other places. If Lu Ming defeats the Di clan and the evil spirit sect, we'll take the opportunity to strike and obtain some benefits. The hook-nosed old man said. Brother Wang is wise. Senior Wang is wise. The others all started to flatter Qin Wentian. Immediately, they too moved, heading towards the Di clan. Lu Ming controlled the 3 puppets at an astonishing speed. It didn't take long for them to enter the Emperor district. What a fast speed! The others were shocked. It didn't take long for them to pass through the Tsang state and enter the Emperor district. This speed was shocking. Ordinary flying shuttles couldn't compare at all. Many people looked at Lu Ming. This top prodigy of the Tsang state must have been extraordinary in these years. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master stroked his beard and smiled. He was very satisfied with this disciple. Not long after, mountain peaks appeared in front of them. There were many palaces built on the mountain peaks. They had arrived at the D family. D family. There was a glint in Lu Ming's eyes. Clang! Clang! The D family had naturally noticed Lu Ming and the others' arrival. A deafening bell rang. Then, figures flashed in all the palaces. It's Lu Ming. A voice sounded. The people of the D family and the evil spirit sect were shocked. They never expected that Lu Ming would dare to take the initiative to attack. Originally, they were going to send out an army in 2 days to annihilate Lu Ming in one fell swoop. They didn't expect Lu Ming to take the initiative to attack. A large number of figures appeared on the mountain in front of the D family. They were all experts of the D family and the evil spirit sect. Lu Ming waved his hand and put away the puppets. He stood in the air. He saw the Heavenly Universe Demon Sect, Heavenly God Sect Master, and the others in the crowd. Young Master, I'll make the first move. Xiao Moon said to Lu Ming. Be careful. Lu Ming said. Xiao Moon nodded and stepped into the air, heading toward the D family. His martial emperor cultivation suddenly erupted. The vast martial emperor's aura pressed down on the D family like raging waves. Many people's faces changed drastically as they felt the terrifying pressure. Boom! Boom! At this moment, 2 terrifying auras also erupted from the Emperor Divine Palace. 2 beams of light shot into the sky and defeated Xiao Moon's aura in one fell swoop. In the next moment, 2 figures appeared in the air. They were 2 old men. Their bodies were skinny like 2 dried corpses, and their bodies were wrapped in black robes. Spirit-devouring king. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Lu Ming had seen one of them before. It was the spirit-devouring king who was suppressed in the heavenly wind plains, one of the 6 great forbidden lands in the Tsang state. When the spirit-devouring king had escaped, Lu Ming had obtained the Tai Chi array disc from him. As for the other person, Lu Ming had never seen him before. He guessed that he was the other guardian king of the evil spirit sect. Kiki, such a young martial emperor. Your blood chi must be very strong. Let me devour you. Maybe it will help me break through my cultivation. The spirit-devouring king let out a strange laugh. His body moved, and he pounced toward Xiao Moon. Xiao Moon struck out with his palm. The laws of yin and yang moved with his palm and blasted toward the spirit-devouring king. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.